Inside throw, touchdown! Kansas City! City wins the game!
Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
Back-to-back best sports talk hosts as voted on in the Pitch magazine.
Live from the Fan Studios. Here's C-Dot.
Well, Rob, I lied. C-Dot is not back today. He'll be back tomorrow. Jay Binkley. Rob Brinton with you. Text line, of course, as always, 913-586-7965. The J Southland Tow Service text line ready for your use. It's also the phone line as well. We'll talk draft with Thor Nystrom coming up at 2:15 to get your draft fix. I know I joined Cody and Gold at 1 o'clock. That'll do each and every Wednesday leading up to the draft. And with you guys sometimes as well, before and after the draft. And, of course, our big draft party on the 24th from the Landing in Liberty. That's going to be a ton of fun. We'll get more details on that later. What's up, Rob? Yesterday we talked about this is a two-horse race. You willing to concede it's not a two-horse race? Royals find a way to win. Beat an ace of the Twins. They win the game. Detroit's won, 6 in a row at this point? They're about to sweep the Yankees. They're playing right now. I think it's scoreless in the 6th, last time I checked. But, yeah, I still see it as a two-horse race for these teams. And the Royals pitching staff is absolutely ridiculous. What Cole Ragans is doing is off the charts. You know, hitting 11 strikeouts from the left-hand side. Only 5 of their lefties actually have more in Kansas City Royals history since he's been here. He passed the great Danny Duffy. Cole Ragans, a stud. I know we laughed about Chris Bubich being the ace of the staff, which he's not. It's Cole Ragans. But everybody's good. Lorenzen's been good. Bubich has been good. Now let's just get the offense to turn that corner. But Detroit's still doing Detroit things, and I do still think it's Detroit in Kansas City. I know the text line really liked Cleveland and thought I was slighting them. They beat the Royals 2 out of 3 games early on. That's fine. They got a hit. Yesterday, they were in a nice 1-0 game with the White Sox, who, by the way, are pitching better. There's only a 3-hitter from Cleveland on their opening day in Cleveland. The last team to have an opening day in Major League Baseball was Cleveland. Yesterday, they barely beat the White Sox. Again, I think the White Sox will be better. They're not going to be great, but they're going to be better than the 12 wins the Royals put on them last year, and they got to find a way, a team to kind of bully around like they can do with the Minnesota Twins. Again, you look at Cleveland, what they did. Carlos Santana actually had a couple hits. Ramirez just one. But really, that team's a two-horse team. It's Quan. It's not a power hitter. He's an on-base guy and a gold glover and defensively. He's good. And Ramirez. That's it. You pitch around him. But the Kansas City Royals absolutely love what they've been doing. And how about the pitching coach? Everybody's always got a problem with that. But Brian Sweeney has been amazing from this pitching staff as well. 10 games now with teams, players throwing at least 11 strikeouts and no walks? In the history of the organization over 50 years, it's only happened 20 times. 10 times has been on his watch in the last 2 years. That is incredible stuff, what they're doing right in front of us from the pitching staff perspective for the Kansas City Royals. Britton, you were at the game last night, weren't you? Were you out there enjoying it as a fan?
I was out there enjoying it as a fan. I was out there enjoying it as a fan, watching Cole Ragans absolutely mow down Twinkies inning after inning after inning. Yeah, I was out there.
It was a good pitching performance all around for both teams. But again, guess who won? The Kansas City Royals. Do they need to score more runs? Absolutely. You'd like to see the power back in effect. And by the way, Jack Caglione, hit another monster shot yesterday? We talked about him a little bit yesterday. When are you going to see him in Kansas City? Not going to be in the outfield probably. Could he be DH or first baseman? You want him to get the at-bats. I mean, that's one thing if Jack comes up here. You want the at-bats. But he put on Instagram yesterday, which someone forwarded over on X, 3 pitchers or 3 bats that were the torpedo bat. I happened to show you that before the show today. What do you think about that? If indeed he's using the torpedo bat, which why not? It's legal. Go ahead and use it. I mean, he is absolutely tattooing the baseball.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to think about it. I mean, it could be he just got torpedo bats. It could be someone in the dugout has torpedo bats. Like I think an Instagram post is a little bit jump to conclusion-y, but I mean it's a legal bat, so why not go crazy?
Why would he show a picture of them? You know what I'm saying?
It's a great question.
Why would he show it? I never heard your discussion on those. That is funny. People used them last year. Giancarlo Stanton used them last year in the playoffs, the torpedo bat. And now he's out, of course, because of the bat and the swing, but he hasn't necessarily said it's because of that. And the guy that designed them is what, with Tampa now? Or the Marlins, excuse me. He's moved on to the Marlins, the guy that designed it for the Yankees. And Aaron Judge is off to a great year. He doesn't use the torpedo bat, but guys have been, inquiring about it. They've been looking at it to see what's going on with the torpedo bat. You might as well use it. I know Kramer that works here. Used to be over on this side. He does a lot of stuff over on the Wolf now, producing in the mornings. He's in a wood bat league. He's going to torpedo bat as well. I mean, you use what you can use. And if you can swing it, do it, man. But these baseballs are actually crushed from Jack. I mean, it is fun to watch. Whether he comes up here, in outfield, that's fine. It could be a pipe dream. Defensively, not great in the outfield at this point. Melendez has been good. Not good at the plate, but good defensively. But where are they going to put him? First base, DH, what's he going to do? Not sure, but yes, it's fun to see what Jack's doing every night. It's fun, once again, to check the minor league box scores for the Kansas City Royals. The last time you might have been doing it, obviously, was Bobby Witt Jr. The time before that, you're looking to see what Hosmer and Moose and everybody, Perez and everybody was doing in the minor leagues, or when they made that deal and Kane was down in AAA with Omaha. Maybe you followed in on it and watched it, what they're doing. But this pitching staff has been nothing short of remarkable from what you want. The whole thing. With the bullpen, the starting pitching, everything's been fine for the Royals. And I will contend, this is the Royals and the Tigers. By the way, the Tigers down 2-0 now to the Yankees. Top of the 8th. Tigers home, but they've beaten the Yankees twice. So this is the third game, so they've already won that series against the Yankees. But the Tigers 7-4. If they lose today, they go to 7-5. Obviously, it's going to be a 2-horse race from the Royals and the Tigers. But right now, are they not doing everything you want for the Kansas City Royals? They're a fun team to watch. They are actually must-see TV again. I remember in 14 and 15, people used to watch it like religiously. They'd watch it in 14. Even 13, people started to watch it. But then in 16, people had kind of this background, but it was still on. But they went home at night, and they couldn't wait to sit there and watch the Royals once again, or listen to the Royals if that's what you choose to do. Either way, people are consuming the Kansas City Royals. Haven't seen the complaints. People have found a way to watch them on TV now with FanDuel, or whether they're doing it on Amazon. Whichever way they're doing it, they're finding a way to watch the Royals. And then you got guys like Mark DeRosa and everybody else at MLB Network talking about the Royals and liking them to have the second best record in the American League. It's fun. I don't know if you've watched the MLB Big Inning. They've done it for the last couple of years, but they seem to be doing a lot more. It's kind of like a Red Zone. They'll have 4 games on at once on MLB Network. That's a lot of fun to watch. They'll usually have the Royals in one of their boxes. They usually have 4 games up at once, and they'll go to which game's good or not. But the Big Inning from MLB Network is fantastic. If you're a huge fan of what NFL Red Zone is, I think you'd like MLB Big Inning because it is a lot of fun to watch. The Royals are a fun team to watch. And I cannot wait for the Royals to play the Tigers. The 13 games against the Tigers, I think, satisfy and settle what this division's all about. But, man, is it not nice having a guy like Cole Ragans? Is it not nice having a guy like that to go out and watch and mow down hitters? I'm sure you were sitting there. It was 2 aces going at it with the Twins and the Royals. And it was fun to watch. And of course, you're out there watching. Did you go because of Cole Ragans, or did it matter? Did it matter, Rob?
It lined up that way.
Okay.
Like, it was not, I did not try to build the schedule to be like, I'm going to see Cole Ragans. It worked out very nicely because I did like seeing Cole Ragans. And, you mentioned those 14 and 15 teams. It is nice to see Cole Ragans because even when the Royals were great in 14 and 15, and I guess they were just good in 14, but great in 15, they never had a starter like a Cole Ragans, an absolutely dominant, I can go stop a drought, I can start a winning streak just by himself type of guy. I don't know we have seen a pitcher to his quality in Kansas City since Greinke's Cy Young year. Like, he has that type of stuff. And being out there last night, by the time I got in my seat after the show, went home, got, settled, he already had 3 strikeouts, and I had sat down and just popped my first beer. Like, it is truly dominant stuff to watch him out there. He is, by every definition, an ace. He's not a top-of-the-rotation guy. He's not an ace because he's the Royals' #1. He is an ace because he is that dude.
Yeah, we've seen that so many times with the Royals. Well, they might be an ace in Kansas City, but would it be an ace in other places? He truly is. He's special. He's fun to watch. and what it is. Nice win yesterday, 2-1. I know a lot of people like seeing the high-scoring games. I'm good with 2-1. I mean, I'm good with the 6-3 or 9-3 game in the NFL. It means defenses showed up in the game. Yeah, we'd like to see more power and stuff like that. It's fun on your X timeline seeing some Jack bombs because he's like crushing the baseball, and it's fun to watch. But again, like JJ said, keep in mind who's pitching, who's throwing to you. But I think it translates. I think it's going to translate. I cannot wait till this guy gets to the major leagues. I'll be honest with you, I cannot wait until he gets up here. I mean, I would like to see it kind of coincide with Sal Perez hitting the bombs. Obviously, it's going to coincide with Bobby Witt Jr. doing his deal. But will it give Bobby a race every year to be the home run champion for the Royals eventually? We can table that talk just a little bit, but it is fun to watch and fun on the horizon for the Kansas City Royals to have stars in the game. 2 of the top 4 pitchers in the Cy Young last year were Kansas City Royals. That's insane. 2 starters in the All-Star game. You don't see that very often with the Royals, but it's fun to watch, especially teams that, aren't spending anything. Like what's going on in St. Louis, people mad at the organization. They're not going to the games. It's usually, quote, baseball city, but they didn't add anybody and they're pissed. There's probably a lot of St. Louis fans, honestly, that are Royals fans at this point. Remember the whole state of Missouri was kind of migrating towards the Cardinals? Like no matter where you went, it was people liking the St. Louis Cardinals. The Royals is a fun team to watch, man. Cool uniforms, the whole deal. They've already gravitated toward the Chiefs, obviously. I mean, they still got the Blues over in St. Louis, but it's really weird to see St. Louis not being this, quote, baseball city like they used to be with the way that organization's going. So I digress, but the Royals, Vernier comes on tonight. Vern at 5:30 once again will be off as the Royals and Twins go tonight with the Royals a couple wins over the Twins so far. And again, just keep beating the Twins down. It's a home series. Take advantage of it. You got to find those wins somewhere for the Royals, like the 12 against the White Sox last year. Again, I think the White Sox are pitching good enough that it won't be 12 wins against them this year. Will they win 7 or 8? Very good possibility. They will. 12, be hard to see that. But coming up next, we'll talk NFL draft. Thor Nystrom, one of the best guys in the industry regarding the NFL draft, because I know a lot of you still have a lot of questions regarding that. We'll talk to Thor next.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Men, here's the truth. In the bedroom, good enough isn't really good enough, is it? This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if your erectile dysfunction is making intimacy less enjoyable for you and your partner, give us a call today. Because whether your ED only happens sometimes or all the time, it's time to stop good enough and time to start really good. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. Whether it's only mild or moderate, or even if it's severe, our treatments have success rates of well over 90%. And because we have a variety of treatments and can even combine protocols, we can likely get you performing like you haven't in a long time. You could even last up to an hour or more and make sex great again for you and your partner. So make an appointment and be done with good enough. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices to serve you.
Red Hot Car Giveaway, only at Harris, Kansas City. Saturday, April 26th, one lucky winner will win a brand new Red Hot Lexus ES350. Harris is giving away $2,500 in free play every 15 minutes from 7 p.m. till 10:45 p.m. At 11, 2 winners will receive $5,000 in free play, and 1 person will win $10,000 cash. And 1 person drives home a brand new Lexus ES350. Visit our website for full details. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
FanDuel is giving new customers an offer unlike any other for the first major at Augusta. Because right now, new customers get $250 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. Can Jordan Spieth get that second green jacket? Can Will Zalatoris finally break through in a major? You can bet on all these storylines plus more, including first-round leaders, top 20s and 30s, 3 balls, tournament matchups, and so much more. Plus, you'll get paid instantly when you bring home a major win this major season. So don't wait. Visit FanDuel.com/Alex to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, and swing for some green at Augusta. FanDuel is an official partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Every day when we're on the road, people around us endanger themselves and others by looking at their phones while driving. There's the sneak-a-peeker who darts their eyes between the road and their texts, or the nightlighter who illuminates their car after dark. If that's you, reconsider before you find yourself becoming the fender bender-er, the got a ticket-er, or worst of all, the driver who killed someone. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
All power, zero compromise. Ego cordless outdoor power equipment features advanced lithium battery technology that exceeds the power and performance of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. From blowers and trimmers to mowers and pressure washers, one battery powers over 90 tools. No wonder it is the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Power beyond belief. Visit egopowerplus.com to learn more or to find an Ego retailer near you. That's egopowerplus.com.
College holds a mythic place in American culture, but there are stories you won't hear on the campus tours.
The higher-ups are concerned about one thing, and that is avoiding scandal.
I'm Margot Gray. On the new podcast, Campus Files, we cover everything from rigged admissions to the drama of Greek life and student protests. Listen to and follow Campus Files, an Odyssey original podcast. Available now on the free Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Chiefs fans, it's George Karlaftis. Welcome to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
And welcome back to The Drive. Jay Binkley, Rob Britton producing the operation. Joining us now, a guy that I love talking draft with. One of the best guys out there, to be honest with you. Does his stuff on Fantasy Life, at MB Fantasy Life. And if you can follow him on Twitter, at ThorKU, also a KU guy as well. What's up, Thor?
How you doing, Jay?
Hey, it's going well, my friend. We're getting closer and closer to the draft. I see you put out your 2-round mock draft the other day. You've been busy and dialed in to what the NFL draft is. Did you see the latest? Did you happen to see what like Kuiper and Prisco and these dudes put out yesterday?
No, tell me.
Well, it seems that Travis Hunter is starting to really gain that traction in number 2. And I like that pick for the Browns. Looks like he's going to allegedly play wide receiver in the National Football League. I think it'd be a big mistake if teams didn't go that direction, but he is the odds-on favorite to go number 2 now to the Browns.
Yeah, so when I had that one in my mock, I'm hearing similar things. I got a bit more of a scandalous take with the Browns, which you might have seen if you've seen the 2-round mock. But
yep.
I've been hearing since the combine, and when I first heard this, I was like, no way. So I'm just going to preface by saying that. But I've been hearing since the combine, keep an eye on the Browns if Shadir Sanders falls, to keep him with Travis Hunter at the next level. The idea of pop Hunter at 2, and then again, if the fall comes, the Browns have all kinds of draft ammo in the other rounds. They have the first pick in the second round. They have multiple third-round picks, and then they have a cornucopia picks on day 3. Like, they have too many picks to even roster all those guys next year. They will be moving. And a trade that would work out if Sanders falls to 15, if you traded your second, your 2/3, and your fourth next year, your 2026, that jives on the trade chart, even with a little bit of a tax for moving up and another little tax for the move up for a quarterback, which usually we see. But keep an eye on that. Just keep this in the back of your mind. In 2 weeks from tomorrow, if you start to see Shadir starting to fall out of the top 10, watch out for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I saw your player comp was Drew Brees with him with Cleveland, and your Travis Hunter was Shohei Ohtani. I love that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Shadir Sanders. Obviously more so than a lot of my media brethren. I happen to think that they're wrong because they get lost with the narratives and such like that, and they bring it into their evaluation of his film. Accuracy and placement, of course, are the elite things with him, and I do mean elite. I believe he's the record holder for all-time career completion percentage in college football, but the placement is awesome as well. You see this all over his film. He leads guys into space. He puts some English on the ball to get it away from the defender. He always gives his guy the best of it. He doesn't turn the ball over. I like his pocket presence. I like his ability to make people miss in the pocket. He doesn't bail the pocket. He's always looking to throw. So, yeah, big fan of his. And then Shohei Ohtani with Travis Hunter. I mean, there's no one last 20 years that you can point to where it's 1-to-1. Travis Hunter would be my CB1 in this class. If he was just a cornerback, he would be my wide receiver 1 in this class. If he was just a wide receiver. So I'm just going to call him Unicorn 1.
Yeah, he's a great talent. I mean, he's a unicorn, like you say. That's what he is. But as far as the Chiefs, you have really one of my draft crushes on this at 31, and that's Derek Harmon. You had him at 31 at 63 at Ursery, the tackle from Minnesota, which you've seen firsthand up there. A guy that's from Kansas City, from Ruskin High School, as a matter of fact. But Derek Harmon, will start with that. I love him at the 3 technique. I think he'd fall great with the Chiefs. We've done mock drafts. We did Nick Scorton the first time we did it. The second time we went Luther Burden because he was still there. And we had a great debate between, do we go Derek Harmon, who happened to still be available. I don't think he will be. I think he will be earlier in the 20s. But we had the debate, Derek Harmon or Luther Burden. And we ended up going Luther Burden because of the offense. But Derek Harmon on the defensive line, that's my dude if he's available.
Yeah, and we'll see if he ends up getting there like you're mentioning, but I think there is a shot because of the depth of the interior defensive line class. And that might sort of, in a small way, artificially suppress the slots of some of those first-round guys, because of the depth of that class. Could that push a Harmon down to 31? But I'm with you, man. I love his game. It's a guy who earlier in his career at Michigan State, he was from the area. I think he's from Detroit.
Yeah.
He went to Michigan State, and he played at a bigger size. He was between 320 and 330 there. Last season, he goes to Oregon. He cut down to 310. That's where he became that havoc-wreaking 3 technique like you're talking about. Before it was like the more well-fortified thing. There was some responsibilities of holding offensive linemen and stuff. He gets down to the smaller weight. He obviously was moving around better, and then they sort of let him off the leash to go and hunt. And he led the nation in tackles for loss. So or hurries. I'm sorry, but yeah, from the interior defensive line position. So a very active guy, and you also have that potential of a little bit of versatility up and down the line, and also a guy that could put on weight if you wanted him to. But you keep him at 310. We know what that looks like. We saw it last year. He was dominant.
Yeah, it'd be great to have a guy like Chris Jones there with you too, because he is willing to teach players, and he's never shied away from kind of being an instructor on the defensive line. Where would you put the defensive line and edge? Like, what would you say are your top 2 to 3 position groups that'll be in the draft?
Running back will be 1 for sure.
That's 1.
Interior defensive line would be 2 for sure. Edge would be up there. I'm trying to think through real quick. You know what? I'd probably put. I like this tight end class maybe more than some others. I might put tight end 3. But edge would maybe be 4 then.
Daniel Jeremiah put out a tweet earlier, and he said, I've talked to several GMs and head coaches over the last week, and everyone seems to agree. This draft is a starter draft. Maybe not a ton of star power, but your goal should be to come away with 3 or 4 solid starters. Is he on to something there? Do you really see the star power in the first round, or is Daniel Jeremiah right that it kind of yields a lot of starters.
I think he's right in general, and then you also have like the less flashy guys as well, right? Like the quarterback and the receiver positions are the ones that are down in this class. But like, yeah, overall, it's like, usually you have a top 8 pick, and you're feeling pretty good that you're gonna get a superstar. This class, it's not quite as top heavy. Obviously I'm a fan of Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter, but everyone outside of that, there's at least some sort of question on their evaluation. But the sweet spot of this draft, it's more like the 20 to 50 range, so somewhere in there. Like I would want more picks, late first and then in the second there. That's sort of the power alley of this one. That's speaking to what Jeremiah is talking about, the depth of it, and the depth makes sense because this is one of our, I believe, the last COVID year. Also, there might be a few stragglers the next one, but the kids are getting ejected from college that took the extra year, 2020. So now this class, it's a bulkier class. There's just literally more human beings in it, and you're going to get better depth because of that.
Is there a problem, do you think, that you've seen with, because I've talked about, the combine, guys are cherry picking what they do, they'll do the vertical, maybe not the broad, or they won't run the 40, or it'll be like an Austin Gentry that goes and does his pro day, but he doesn't do any of the time things. He runs through some pylons and some bags, but that's it. Is there difference? Because I know that Jim Nagy's leaving the Senior Bowl and he's going to be with Oklahoma, and he's talked about the lack of depth from the 5th round on. Are guys taking that nil? So is it more beneficial to be a pro nowadays with name, image, and likeness, or are guys going back to school, and so they're more pro-ready and they'll really improve their draft stock? Because I see it both ways, because then I look at a guy like Xavier Restrepo, the wide receiver out of Miami that played with Cam Ward, that he's the all-time leader in catches and yards for Miami, and there's been some good receivers coming out there. But he runs, in the 4.7s and a 4.8 as far as the 40, and really cost himself in the draft. But what are you kind of seeing here? Are guys more ready for the NFL now than they used to be?
Yes. And I think NIL is one of the best things to ever happen to the sport of football. It changed. It's because the offshoots of it, and the thing you're talking about, you get more, the players going into the draft are now older and they're more developed, and thus it's, the picture on their evaluation, it's a little bit less hazy. And I know that pro evaluators like it for that reason. It's less projection. The more snaps you've seen of a kid, the older he is, the clearer that picture is for you, and the less as the evaluator that you're going to miss, right? Like your odds are going to go a little bit up of at least being correct on your evaluation. The thing of giving the kids money in college, that and the transfers and stuff. I know people. So some people complain about that, but again, one of the unintended benefits of this is it incentivizes guys to stay in school. Whereas in the past, you would see them jump into the draft because their financial situation at home, even if they weren't ready for it. And so you'd see a lot of guys wash out. Bo Nix would be a great example of a guy who, a decade ago, he would have gone out the year before that, and he would have been like a 5th round pick. But then because of the NIL, he goes back for a final season at Oregon. He works himself up to being a top 12 pick, and then he could start right away. And obviously he had success. And you see this with a bunch of different guys where they were able to stay because the money that they got from their NIL collective, it was commensurate to what you could project to get year one in the NFL. And then you can also project that when you go to the NFL the next year, that you'll be drafted higher. So it's just something that works out for all sides. And like I said, I think it's an awesome thing for the sport of football overall.
We're talking to Thor Nystrom, and check him out at ThorKU on Twitter. He does great stuff for Fantasy Life, his 2-round mock. He kind of rates the different position groups and who he likes and who he doesn't. Let's talk about one of those position groups and a guy that you mocked to the Chiefs, Ursery out of University of Minnesota. Obviously, you've seen him firsthand. You got to go to some of his games. Big dude, 6'6", 331 pounds. But he's under that 34-inch arm length. Andy Reid, has been synonymous for only drafting guys, with 34.25-inch arms, which do matter. Although he did break that, though, because he signed Jalen Moore from Frisco, who's a big dude, but he breaks that mold. He's 33 3/8-inch arms. So he didn't have that, quote, 34-inch arms. And this is kind of a shorter arm tackle draft. And even though Ursery's a big dude, a Kansas City dude, but he's sitting there, 33 3/8 arms. But you happen to really like what he brings to the table.
Yeah, I definitely do, and I think he's got a shot to hang at right tackle at the next level. But with him, you get the extra bullets of, I'm pretty sure he's going to be a really good guard, even if he can't. Right, so you get the multiple bullets on that developmental line there. But yeah, with him, the game it's a dichotomy of power and then light feet, that's what you got. He got to keep working on his technique. That, I'll grant you that, but like he has Herculean power, and again, those light feet. It's why he's so good in zone. He can get out there to the second level and pick off the linebackers. He can go and hit the outside shoulder, hit the spot where some other offensive tackles can't do that. Power player, good feet. Just keep working on that technique. But yeah, he's gonna probably go in the latter half of the second round because of some of those things that need a little bit of refinement. But I think it's a cool ball of clay who's already doing good stuff, right? Like, and he already has a couple of these superpowers. It's a guy who could play up at the next level. You improve that technique. So and maybe Kansas City would view him as an inside convert, but certainly Kansas City could use some help there too.
Yeah, and Jalen Moore, a former 5th-round pick, he played with Sky Moore at Western Michigan, took some seasoning in the National Football League. The bottom line is, where the Chiefs sit, A, do you see a team that would be willing to trade up to 31? Would there be a type of player that could maybe slide like a Luther Burden, or a team would say, hey, we need to move up to 31, or Harmon, and the Chiefs pass on them to try to get more draft picks? Because clearly that's usually a quarterback slot if someone's going to trade back. Like, what do you see? And then when you look at this offensive line group as a whole, do you really look at it as players that could come in and help the Chiefs on day one?
There's certainly a couple, especially if you went interior. Zabo, Donovan Jackson, Booker, those guys can all play right away. Ursery potentially, and then some of the guys that go above there. Kelvin Banks, if he fell down there, there's debate about whether he's a guard or a tackle. I think he can hang a tackle, but there's some people that disagree with me on that. But
yeah, some have him going anywhere from 15 to not in the first round.
He's got a big band of outcomes because the thing with him is people, again, they disagree on what he is. To me, that's more. I have more of those questions about Will Campbell. In fact, I'll go this far: I do not believe that Will Campbell can play tackle at the next level.
Do you believe his arms really grew an inch on his pro day from the combine?
I do not. No, I do not. And we have data on this. Guys with that length of arm, especially a left tackle, we just don't have any data supporting that guy can he can hang with that. So, I do think he's going to be a good guard at the next level. But yeah, Kelvin Banks, he's on the wrong end of that debate. I don't know why everyone forgets that or overlooks it with Campbell, but they give it. Kelvin Banks has 6-inch longer wingspan or something like that, 5 than Will Campbell. But I like him. But if he does end up falling to the late first round, that would be a tremendous pick for Kansas City, in my opinion.
Another thing is we'll get to the wide receivers in a second because we do have the Chiefs going 2 receivers in this draft, and I think there's a reason. One thing I like is the Chiefs, the closest of picks from 63 and 66, right there in that kind of hot zone, as Veach has called it in the past. They're 2 premium picks they have there coming pretty close together. But this running back class, you obviously like the running back class. I feel that they should draft a running back all along. I know that they go out and sign Elijah Mitchell. It's that speed he has, the 4.32 speed. He has a combine, but health issues. They bring back Kareem Hunt. But this is a draft. If they don't draft a running back, I would say at least in the top 4 rounds, it's a mistake.
Totally agree. Yeah, and with Kansas City having those, so it's the 3 day 2 picks, correct?
Yeah, they have 63 and 66. It's boom, boom.
Yeah, you're sitting right in that power alley for those running backs. And, could Caleb Johnson get down there? I sort of doubt it, but that would be fun because I think I mentioned this last time I was on. I complimented Larry Johnson, so we sort of evoked that for the Kansas City fans. But if not, you're going to see the parade of running backs going around that range, and not only that, you have the extra bullets to do it. You also have the bullets to maneuver, right? First round, depending on the way it goes, you potentially trade down if you wanted to use your first pick at top of the second round on a running back. That would be a decent spot. But, again, you could also do either of those 2/3. You could trade down in the 3rd. If for instance, keep Devin Neal home, right? That's a guy probably going to go latter half of the 3rd or early 4th round, or DJ Giddens. You go, a little bit over to the Little Apple there. Sorry, Kansas State fans. I'm a Rock Shocker, so I had to say that. But yeah, like there's going to be all kinds of options for you there. So I would advocate for the same thing that you do. I think the Chiefs absolutely should take a running back, and I think they will.
Do you like Devin Neal or Giddens? DJ Giddens at Kansas State. Take your KU stuff, your blinders off there. If both are sitting right there, which one do you like better?
I have them basically right next to each other on my board. I do lean Devin Neal slightly, but they're different kinds of players. You're going to get more passing game utility out of Devin Neal than you are with DJ Giddens. But and Neal has also improved quite a bit as a pass blocker, so he can stay out there on the field. He's going to be a good receiver at the next level. Whereas DJ Giddens, he's just a really good pure runner. You know, it's the angular. He's a tall kid and he runs angular. But he's just so smooth. His movements are so smooth. And I think that's why he surprised some of us with how well he tested. He tested insane in Indianapolis. And
a home run guy.
Like, that's it. Like it's like he does it. You know, when he's in the open field, it's one of those guys where he's moving faster than he appears to be. You have the long stride thing. He's not chugging the arms. You know, like some of those smaller guys, whatever. And he's just a smooth glider. I like his vision. I like his ability to hit the cutback lane. I comp him to Zach Charbonnet from a couple classes ago as another guy that, you know, very similar frame, very similar athleticism. It was another tall runner that ran sort of angular and had good vision and could hit that cutback lane. So I like DJ Giddens. It's just you're not going to get as much value out of him in the passing game.
The two we've gone so far at this point, Dylan Sampson, huge Dylan Sampson guy, the SEC Offensive Player of the Year at Tennessee. And this year we kind of went around further back. We went Tootin, Basil Tootin out of Virginia Tech that a lot of people like. I like him too because I like his speed, obviously. But is a guy too that can be in the return game as well. And with them placing the ball at the 35, it becomes more of a premium to return kicks.
For sure, yeah. And it's funny. My comp for Basil Tootin is Isaiah Pacheco.
Oh, really?
I see so many similarities with those guys. It's the same. It's the breakneck speed, but it's also the breakneck style, right? Where it's just you're shot out of a gun. And sometimes I'm wondering, like, Bayshell, do you know where you're going? Because he's just going so fast. It's just like kinetic. But you know what? He has that ability to hit the home runs, and he does hit the home runs. Just a tremendous athlete. Got to tighten some things up there. Ball security is a big one. 5 fumbles last year,
That's
and
huge.
You're wondering. Yeah, like, is it ball security, or we would prefer it be ball security, because the other explanation for it is that kid doesn't have good hands. At Virginia Tech, they started using him less as a receiver as time went on, which is a little bit scary. When he does catch the ball, it's the same thing. When he's in space, you got a shot to see a dinger. But, like, obviously he needs to clean that up, and in your evaluation, the Chiefs are going to have to get to the bottom of that. Do we think this is something that's fixable, ball security, or is this endemic to something going forward, a hands thing where it's going to slaughter his value at the next level?
I know he's that speed is obviously sticks out the 4.32, but kick returning, he almost had 29-yard average back in 2023 and a couple touchdowns as well. So it's one of the areas I really like Tootin to be in. We went 2 wide receivers because obviously in this mock, which it will change, we go Burden, then we go Kyle Williams. I really like Kyle Williams. Again, that might be a situation where you pair him up with Cam Ward later on, because we see the success teams have pairing that college receiver with that college quarterback that they played with. He didn't play with Cam Ward at Miami, but he played with them at Washington State. But Kyle Williams, one of those receivers that really jumps out to me.
I agree with you on Kyle Williams. Obviously in the fall, all I do is watch college football, and I seen Kyle Williams, and it was like, oh, he's a smooth operator. I was sleeping on him a little bit, though, because he's on the smaller end. So it's like, how is that going to be? And then how is the athleticism and stuff like that? He tested decent, 6'3", It was enough to 6'3", RAS, I'm sorry, 63rd percentile size adjusted athlete. But, like, good enough for his game. Where the thing that it's the smooth thing. Off the line, you're not getting him, even at the smaller size. His footwork is so good. He had the best releases at the Senior Bowl. That was the first thing that opened your eye. It's like, because some of those guys, they were almost doing dance routines out there. Someone had a joke on Twitter that it was TikTok releases. So some of those guys, it would be like to run a 6-yard route. It took them 5 seconds to get off the line because they were doing all this nonsense with their feet. Kyle Williams, it's just so sudden. It's boom, 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 and he's gone. And so, like, I like that. And then he knows what he's doing as a route runner. He's one of those guys that will toggle the speeds to keep the defensive back off of him, and then the efficiency of the footwork in and out of the route break. It's why he creates the separation. He's efficient. You know, he doesn't drop the ball. It's not a guy that profiles as a superstar, of course, but as a steady Eddie third option in a passing game, absolutely. Like a chain-moving kind of a guy like that, and a guy who we know can create separation. I'm definitely with you on Kyle Williams.
And final question for you, Thor. Greatly appreciate your time. But it's the Kansas Jayhawks defensive backs. It's Mello Dotson. It's Kobe Bryant. Mello runs a 4.59, which kind of takes you back a little bit with the speed. Kobe Bryant, 4.53. So, again, speed might be a question with these guys. Maybe more in line for safety if they bulked up a little bit. But your overall impressions of Mello and Kobe as far as where kind of the rounds they would fit in a draft?
Yeah, Kobe Bryant, I really like him. You know, as a guy who considered coming out in the draft the year before, but he was told to bulk up. You know, and you know it's hard, right, with that wiry frame. He's trying the best he can with that, but like I like his game on the field. He has long arms. You know, and he's obviously 6 feet as well. You know, it's just, can we add any more weight? But you know, again, very, very feisty player. You see that in coverage. It's difficult to shake him. I love, too, for the more sort of wiry cornerback, that he is happy to come down and help in run defense, right? Like, you know, some of these smaller corners that we have, they don't want any part of that. But Kobe Bryant is aggressive with that. And then Mello Dotson is a guy that opens your eyes when you watch him, too. With him, it just comes down to sort of the thing you're alluding to, which is just over the ocean of data. Obviously, Melo's a skinny guy as well. And then the lack of foot speed, it's like, does he have enough to hang, right? Because he is a skilled player, right? So, like, will the, you know, athleticism, frame combination, will that be nullifying? If it's not, the skills that we have there are definitely NFL caliber. So, you know, I like his game as well. I have a little bit more questions about his eval than I do about Kobe, but it's definitely a guy I would use a pick on day 3.
I tell you what, Thor, greatly appreciate your time. Love you when you come on our draft specials as well. People can follow you on Twitter at ThorKU. It's Thor Nystrom. He does stuff for Fantasy Life. Great stuff. The breakdowns, the mock drafts, why he picks 2 for teams, kind of the fit that they're in. But you do great stuff, and you watch a hell of a lot of football, and I appreciate all your input on that. Thanks, Thor.
Hey, thanks so much, brother. Rock chalk.
Of course he's got that, Rob. I mean, that's your guy. But I asked him to take the blinders off. Take the blinders off. Tell me DJ Giddens or Devin Neal. Which one are you taking?
Devin Neal.
Of course.
He didn't catch the
I
football.
would go Giddens.
Well, for Kansas City or just in general?
Just Kansas City. You going Devin Neal? Because these are both possibilities.
Devin Neal's a better pass catcher.
But DJ, man, that home run ability kind of showcased there towards the end of the year with Kansas State. I don't know, man. But Tootin, yes, that is a problem. They drop balls. But he can return kicks. He had 2 touchdowns 2 years ago, almost a 29-yard average. He's sick. Doesn't punt return, but he does the kickoff returns, and it's fun. But big thanks to Thor Nystrom joining us there. Coming up next, though, minor league football or professional football, if you want to call the UFL. We'll discuss that next.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
You know what's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag with a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, 4-piece nugs, Junior Hot and Crispy Fries, and small soft drink is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Unlimited time does not mean forever. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and California and via third-party delivery. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada.
Are you a small business owner who needs immediate cash flow? At Swish Funding, we have flexible funding options from $25,000 to $2 million. For the best rates and terms for your business, just one application to Swish Funding gives you access to our entire network of funders with cash in your account in as little as 24 hours. To qualify, you must be in business business for at least 1 year with monthly revenue of $50,000. Apply at swishradio.com and use code FAST. Swishradio.com, code FAST.
What's up, baseball fans? Go yard with BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Enjoy top odds on your favorite home run bets, fast and convenient ways to play same-game parlays, special boosts and tokens, and so much more. From the first pitch to the game-winning fireworks, there are more ways than ever to supercharge your excitement. Download the BetMGM app and get your piece of MLB action. BetMGM is an official partner of Major League Baseball. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. First bet offers for new customers only. All other promotions for existing customers. Subject to eligibility requirements. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Major League Baseball trademarks. Used with permission.
This is Blake Fanning with Shawnee Mission Ford, here with a huge announcement. This month, it's employee pricing for all at Shawnee Mission Ford. Let me tell you one more time. It's employee pricing for all at Shawnee Mission Ford. You pay what we pay, not 1 cent more. You heard right. We got the employee pricing for everyone on new Fords. But that's not all. When you buy from Shawnee Mission Ford, you not only get employee pricing, but you also get our lifetime powertrain warranty, along with our 1-year Select Plus protection with your new vehicle purchase. This is what makes Shawnee Mission Ford different. You get all of it. Employee pricing on a great selection of new Fords, plus lifetime powertrain warranty, along with the 1-year Select Plus protection. And Shawnee Mission Ford is still going to offer you the highest trade values in Kansas City. Do not miss employee pricing for everyone. From America, for America. Shawnee Mission Ford, where we're on a mission to save you more. Excludes 25 Super Duties, Raptor line vehicles, 25 Expeditions, and E-Line.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Oh, Downy in the rinse straight. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunkt Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today, we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on 2 wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW-1. That's 877-WEB-NOW-1.
This afternoon, expect partly sunny skies with a high of 75.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Kane is in the building.
Welcome to your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Welcome back, 96.5 The Fan. Jay Brinkley, Rob Brinton, Carrington, back tomorrow. I said he'd be back today and wasn't, but so I lied. Big thanks to Thor Nystrom joining us talking NFL draft. What do you think about the UFL, Rob? You a fan of the XFL that now combined with the UFL? We have the XFL division, 4 teams. We've got the 4 teams from the United Football League. Are you a fan of minor league football? Or I guess in some of the places like St. Louis Battlehawks, they consider that
Quite simply, no.
real football.
I literally do not care for it at all. And I think viewership being way down shows America doesn't care about it at
30% decline from a year ago.
Massive spike. Massive dip. Like, I love college football. I love the NFL. Like, I love football. But you know what? I think we're learning from these spring leagues there is such thing as too much football, because on April, whatever the weekend would have been, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, no one was watching these games. No one knows anything about these teams. No one cares about what's happening. Like,
unless you're in one of these markets.
And even then, they're not watching. Like, if it's down the massive numbers, it's down 30% 1 year, I would tell you that even people in St. Louis aren't watching at the same rate they used to. People just do not like the idea of spring football. And it feels like every once in a while, someone gets excited about it. The Rock, the XFL, all the stuff. And then we learn pretty quickly it's, man, no one cares to watch quadruple A players play football.
21 players went from the UFL last year to NFL rosters. Now, they're not guys you're going to hear about, and some guys made the team, some didn't. The big practice squad type guys and stuff, not like made a difference. The only guy I ever saw really make a difference, Rob, but he's been on a million different teams, is Donald Parham. Remember him, the tight end from the Chargers? He played for Arlington. Like, he was a member of the Renegades that won in the XFL. He's gone on there in the UFL because they have 2 different divisions in it. But, hey, the World League of American Football was fun when they did it. I've often thought, okay, if you could allocate some players to the CFL, okay, do it. But, again, a lot of compromise would have to be done with that, like the 20-yard end zones, the vertical motion, 12 guys on the field. There's a lot of CFL things I don't particularly care about, and I'm sure NFL players don't really care about those either. It is a big-time wide receiver league. But the minor league football system is college football. Make no mistake about it. It's the SEC. It's the Big 12. It's the ACC. That is the minor leagues. Guys are paid now. The NFL won't have to pay them. They don't have to pay their insurance. They have to pay crap. And they draft those players. They end up in that 254 to 258 player pool at the NFL draft, depending on comp picks, on which direction they go. But it's not quite the developmental league people had hoped for. I'll be honest with you, Robbie. If it's on, I will watch it. I'm not a diehard fan of the UFL. I do like some of the things they test. I remember when the XFL first came out with Vince McMahon, there was a lot of things the NFL took and copied, and it made their product better. The camera above hand that floated over the field. There was different technologies they used. They could try things out for the NFL. I mean, the UFL would have been a great place to try out the ball technology. Like this year, they're going to have it digitally tracked whether you got a first down or not. And the chain gang will be secondary. They'll still be there, but it won't be the end-all, be-all. But I'll say this, Rob, and I know people have talked about it. And the NFL's, considered it too, and they've done testing on it. Having a chip in the football, especially when you cross the goal line.
Aren't they doing that this year? Didn't they talk about doing that? And one of the rule changes?
It'll be one of the rule changes for that, but not the end-all. The chain gang will still be there. Here's my problem with that. It's not where the ball lands, but where your foot is where the ball is. Like you can have your knee down and stretch the ball over the goal line, and boom, it goes off the sensor that it crossed the goal line. But if your leg's down, and the ball's down wherever your leg went down. You see what I'm saying? I mean, that to me is a big problem for the NFL.
Yeah, I'm curious how that gets implemented. But I also think the actual chain gang is kind of an antiquated technology.
No, it is. They're still there. That was backup.
Mm-hmm. The game moves too fast for the refs on the field, like, if we're being honest. Like, the athletes are too good. So it's a weird compliment to the league. But yeah, they need to do something. I just don't like the Bills whined and cried and got their way. But something needs to be done to improve that system.
Well, the Bills always get their way, right? I mean, Mahomes did lose to Brady in the AFC title game because he won the coin toss and he goes down and scores the touchdown. They didn't get the ball back. But, it happens to Josh Allen. Let's change the rule, which they did. But nobody brings that up, the fact they changed the rule when Josh Allen got to get the ball back, even though the Chiefs won the game. They changed the rule because of the Bills, not the Chiefs. I don't know. I haven't asked you this. Do you like the tush push?
I I do not want the tush push banned.
Thank you. I don't either.
It's a boring play, but you know what? It's effective. And just because it's effective doesn't mean we should be banning it. There is no data to suggest it's a dangerous play, despite the fact people are claiming it's a dangerous play. There is nothing saying that. I think it is a boring play. Like, don't get me wrong, it is boring, but it's successful, and we shouldn't be legislating against plays just because they're successful. So it's got to stay. Someone's got to figure out a way to stop it without just, begging for rule changes.
I was on with Alex last week, and I was talking about the tush push back when the NFL, they're still going to decide. They had their meetings. They'll have them again later this spring. But did you ever notice the Chiefs actually used the tush push quite a bit? No, it wasn't on 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, but it was down the field. Like, you all the time saw Trey Smith or Creed Humphrey or whatever push the running back extra, including over the goal line. Did you notice that? Like, the Chiefs do utilize that. And if they do outlaw the tush push, what's going to be the language? Is he going to say, is this going to predate the NFL like 2004 when it actually became legal where you could push? You can't pull the player, but you can push the player. Because normally you had to be pushing the blocker that was going after the player. But if you outlaw it on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, don't you have to outlaw it altogether? You're not going to allow it 5 yards down the field, are you? You're not going to allow guys to do it over the goal line. The Chiefs have been very quiet about this. But they do it. I mean, it is a football play and a part of football. I just don't want to see the whole thing banned because the language in it would be you can't push said players. I don't want to see that. Don't want to see it at all. Well, starting tomorrow, Rob, is a major event. I'm not going to say it's draft type quality, but the Masters, we'll talk some Masters. Absolutely love the Masters. Have a Masters party this weekend. Love the Masters. That'll be getting going tomorrow, and it's a fun event. We'll talk about that next.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
This man was a bona fide scrub.
On 96.5 The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Something amazing is happening in data management. Even though storage needs are constantly changing, companies are only paying for what they need now. That's because CDW customized a Pure Storage Evergreen One SLA-driven storage-as-a-service solution that delivers enterprise-grade hybrid cloud storage that is effortless, efficient, and evergreen. Simplify storage administration with Pure Storage and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/purestorage.
When you stay in your home, what you love gets to stay too. From the gardens that grow wild to the grandkids that run wilder. From the Friday night baseball games to the Sunday morning brunches, even the daily crosswords and weekly book clubs. There's room for it all with help from Home Instead, the largest in-home senior care network with over 30 years of trusted experience delivering the peace of mind you deserve. Visit Home Instead online for a better what's next.
FanDuel is giving new customers an offer unlike any other for the first of major at Augusta. Because right now, new customers can get $250 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. This is the most exciting golf tournament of the year. Can Jordan Spieth get his second green jacket? Who is going to break through this year? Who's going to be the surprise player that sneaks out of nowhere and is on the leaderboard on Sunday? You can bet on all of these storylines, plus first-round leader, top 20, top 30, 3-ball, tournament matchups, and so much more. Plus, you'll get paid instantly when you bring home a major win this major season. Visit FanDuel.com/KFNZ to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app, and swing for the green at Augusta. FanDuel is an official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue with non-withdrawable bonus bet. Retire 7 days in receipt. Returns supply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas. Under agreement, Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem. Get them at your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
Testing.
We're live from Chick-fil-A.
This is Grant.
And this is Laura.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that sweet bun.
And that chicken filet was perfectly crispy and soft at the same time.
And that Smokehouse Barbecue sauce, it's a lot of fun. And the brown sugar bacon definitely had a little bit more pizzazz. Also, the Mac, one of the all-time greats. Man, I'm getting hungry.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and our Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Hey there, Royals fans. It's Royals Hall of Famer Mike Sweeney. Have you or your kids experienced a high school coach who wants to make our Kansas City community a better place to live, work, and play? The Royals and the See You in the Major Leagues Foundation, together with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City, are shining a spotlight on 6 impactful coaches in the KC metro area. Nominate a high school coach today at royals.com/coaches with character.
Call Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. Our iconic blue trucks and expert team get it right the first time. Award-winning full-service lawn care and pest control since 1985. Call today for a free estimate. Visit aspenlawn.com.
All power, zero compromise. Ego cordless outdoor power equipment features advanced lithium battery technology that exceeds the power and performance of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. From blowers and trimmers to mowers and pressure washers, one battery powers over 90 tools. No wonder it is the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Power beyond belief. Visit egopowerplus.com to learn more or to find an Ego retailer near you. That's egopowerplus.com.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Royals coverage sponsored by Park & Go, the best deals on airport parking.
Step up to the plate and hit a home run with Casey's best airport parking. It's Park & Go. Great service, low price, zero hassle, open 24/7, and all spots are covered. Don't get caught looking. Strike 3. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com.
What's up, KC? This is Matt Quatrero. On your way home from the ballpark, make sure to listen to Vern's postgame show right here on 96.5 The Fan. I will not be listening.
96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
Welcome back, 3 o'clock hour. Jay Binkley, Rob Britton with you. Carrington Harrison back tomorrow. I said that yesterday, of course, and it's a flat-out lie going on. But one thing that is coming up is the Masters. Did you hear Drew saying what he could shoot less than 100 at Augusta? There is no way in hell that would happen. From where the players tee off, I mean, Drew's good. Don't get me wrong. Is Drew the best player here? Is it Dusty? Or is it Spec? You?
It's not me. It's 100% not me. I know
Drew and Dusty are really good, and so Spec.
Some quick housekeeping. The Royals made a roster move. Mark Canha is headed to the 10-day IL with a left abductor strain. So Mark Canha, the player they brought in from the Brewers right before the season started.
He started last night.
Started last night in left field. Remember, he had the misplay of the ball in left field, kind of ran into the fence. He is now out on the 10-day DL. Drew Waters is now back up with the Major League Club. So
back in the show after a great performance in AAA.
Drew Waters is back in Kansas City. So it's a little housekeeping for you Royals fans. Drew Waters is back up, and Mark Canha is heading to the IL.
It is Lugo against Ryan tonight. Vern has you with the On Deck show at 5:30 tonight. Make sure you're listening to that. By the way, the Tigers did end up losing to the Yankees. They 4-3. They made it competitive. They lose 4-3. They win 2 out of 3 against the Yankees. So the Tigers sit in there, but they did take the L today. I guess that's good. It's never good seeing the Yankees win, but I digress. But the Masters is tomorrow, Rob. And obviously people talk about the pre-Masters dinner, which is the winner from the previous year with Scheffler. It's the Texas chili sliders. To be honest with you, I've seen the menu, and it looks awesome. It's not grandiose that you pull out the gold china for, but I would dig it. and we go in that. I mean, I would have barbecue 100% at one of these deals. But the Masters, are you a Masters fan or do you watch all the PGA? I love watching, or at least having them on the whole season long. The majors are special because you do get the live players with the PGA players, and that does make it fun because you have the best of the best.
I like watching golf. Don't get me wrong. I'll watch the Masters. I'll watch the Sunday of like the PGA or the U.S. Open or the Sunday morning at the British Open's always.
You don't
enjoyable.
like moving day?
But I don't lock into the other tournaments the way I do the Masters. There's just something special about the Masters. Maybe it's because it feels like when it's on TV, spring has sprung. Maybe it's because
the azaleas.
Yeah, maybe it's because Augusta, Georgia, this time of year is apparently the most picturesque place on human earth. Like watching the par 3 right now, it's gorgeous looking there. But I will watch all 4 days of the Masters. I don't lock into other golf events like that. And I'm someone that likes golf, plays golf, the whole thing. It does not grab me the same way the Masters does. There's just something different about the Masters.
Is Mitch Schwartz good? Because I know he plays all the time. You played with him?
I've never played with him. I hear he is a good golfer, though. I mean, he was a professional athlete. So
yeah, I have no doubt he's not a good golfer.
I'm sure the skills transfer. If you can play at high-level sports at any level, you can probably play golf pretty well.
100%. But the Masters is fun. And I know I had the little debate. Is it a bigger deal than the draft? And no, I don't think it is. Do I watch it? Yeah. Am I going to have a Masters party with pimento and cheese? Yes.
Will
I have club sandwiches? Probably.
Pimento cheese is fire. Like, check our social media channels: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. What would you rather question this week was a pimento cheese sandwich or a peach ice cream sandwich? The answer is pimento cheese sandwich. Pimento cheese sandwiches are absolutely fantastic.
But the menu is awesome. I mean, people have talked about that menu. It costs you a lot to get in there. Don't get me wrong. And you got to be on a waiting list. And Cody Tapp finally went, didn't he? He finally got the invite because he was on the lottery system. He got taken. Of course, if you're going to buy official Masters clothing, it has to be purchased at the Masters. That's why anybody that goes usually has a list of things to bring back. I think Dusty hit Cody Tapp up when he went to bring back some stuff. But that's fun. You win the green jacket. That's something. That is cool. It is cool to win it. Is it the greatest trophy in sports? No, I don't think it is. I mean, it is cool to have it. I still think the Stanley Cup outweighs everything because it travels with the players. Like each player on the hockey team gets to take the Stanley Cup to a bar, strip bar, wherever they want. That cup goes with the representative with the Stanley Cup, which is cool. The green jacket, cool though. I mean, as far as the majors are concerned, I think the green jacket's right up there as far as winning it. But to me, Rob, it's still the Stanley Cup. What do you guys think? 913-586-7965, the J Southland Tow Service text line. To me, the Stanley Cup is the best trophy in sports. I would put the green jacket number 2. How about you?
I think the Stanley Cup is one just because of its enormity and the all deal, but there's some of the green jacket that's kind of cool. Like you have like this special dinner, it's specially fitted, it makes you a member at Augusta forever. Like it's those types of things that just make the Masters a bigger deal than the U.S. Open and the British Open. Like I know in July people talk about, it's a big deal to win the Claret Jug. Doesn't feel the same as putting on that green jacket.
Well, I think the U.S. Open's right up there with it because anybody can technically be in it if you can qualify for it.
I agree. I think the U.S. Open's a few notches down, though, as far as prestige and intrigue, but there's just something about the Masters. The real question is, other than the Masters, which you mentioned Cody Tapp went to once, he won the lottery and got down there. Or maybe his brother won the lottery. I forget how he got there.
Not the real lottery with money.
The Masters lottery. Like, the Masters is a bucket list sports fan item, right? Like, what else is in that pantheon? Like, the Super Bowl, obviously, but, like, a lot of people wouldn't go to the Super Bowl if the Chiefs weren't in it. Like, the World Series is great, but you're not going to the World Series with the Dodgers and Rays. Like, what other, like, sport bucket list items do you have, Bink?
You know, going to golf would be fun. But let me ask you this, though. If you went to a golf tournament, which I used to go to the one in Kansas City, usually the senior tours and stuff when they had that, because they used to have it up at Tiffany Springs, up at Tiffany Greens. They would have it, and I like to just sit at a par 3 so you could watch everything from the drive to the putts to everything else. That's what I would do. How would you consume it if you went? Besides, we'll talk about what's the favorite thing you'd like to go do. But if you went to a golf tournament, would you follow the leaders? Is there certain golfers that you follow the whole time, or would you sit at a par 3?
I would walk. I would be following a certain group. Now, I think like the Masters would be different. I might just camp out down at Amen Corner, but
That'd be fun.
I think if like the Corn Ferry event now, I forget where it is when it comes to Kansas City. I would just pick a group like, oh, this guy's, one of the featured groups. I'll follow him for the next 18 holes. And then, if I get word on the course that another person's making a run, then I'll pivot and go find that person. I would walk around to maximize, not only my steps, but like seeing the most I could. But I think that's different for like a Corn Ferry tournament versus, being down at Augusta or the U.S. Open. I think I would camp out at one of the big tournaments.
What's the practice round prices, like 130 to 150? That is one thing you can actually get into. Like the actual tournament, no. Well, you can, but you have to do the lottery system. But practice rounds, you can go. You can go watch it.
You have to win for the Masters, you can win it's to win the lottery, though.
Oh, I think you just buy tickets for that.
You got to win the lottery. It's just a cheaper ticket, but you got to win the lottery. That's what Cody went to. Cody went to the practice round.
Oh, he didn't go to the actual thing?
I don't believe so.
Oh, he went to practice round. Regardless, you're at Augusta, so who cares? I'll watch the whole thing. I like watching Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I like the Daytona 500. It's right up there. Obviously, the Super Bowl is number one, in my opinion. As far as just all-around sports events, as I've said, I think the NFL Draft's in the top three because I'll sit there and watch all 3 days of it because I think it's fun. And, yes, I might be sicker than others, but there's a lot of people who do the same thing. But the Masters is right up there. And again, I like golf. I like watching the PGA Tour. I'm like you. I like watching on Sundays. I do like watching on Saturdays, too, with moving day and seeing where guys position themselves. I'll even flip on the Live Tour from time to time because of the quality of golfers on that tour. But the bottom line is, yeah, this is one of those weekends that's kind of must-watch TV, whether you like golf or not. And I don't know if non-likers of golf actually will sit there and watch the Masters for the storylines. I think Tiger probably, when he was playing, brought in a lot of people to kind of casually watch what the Masters isn't about. But, for instance, does your wife watch the Masters?
She's more open to watching a little bit of it than she is the other golf tournaments. She's not going to lock in and be like, ooh, it's the 8th hole on Sunday. But she will, if I'm watching the end, she will, okay, I'll sit down and watch the end of the Masters. But she's not locked into any golf, unfortunately.
Yeah, UFC, I mean, that's fun as well. No question about the UFC's fun to watch.
Did you go when they were in town a few years ago?
I did. I've been the last 2 times UFC's been in Kansas City. Enjoyed it. It wasn't the pay-per-view version, like the fight nights on Fridays, but it was UFC. Dana White was there, It was a big deal. I thought it was fun. Did you go watch it?
I went the 1 year, just kind of like, I got to go see this. I'm curious about it.
It's a good production.
I wouldn't put it on my sports bucket list, but I enjoyed it when I was down there. It was something different. And I thought to myself, I'm probably never going to watch one of these events again. It was fun to see.
But being in Vegas, and I agree with you, text line, UFC fight, main event in Vegas, just a big boxing match in Vegas. I mean, back when the heavyweights were like the thing. I mean, going to a fight in Vegas, definitely up there on the list. The Masters would definitely be up there. It'd be a top 3, I think, for me, as far as that. I mean, Daytona 500, clearly I would go to that, even though, to be honest with you, the weight of the Daytona 500 is not any different than any other race. And you could have a hell of a time going out to Kansas Speedway and really enjoy watching NASCAR races. But is it your number one?
The Masters?
Or is it the Super Bowl still?
The Masters is 1. I do need to get to a Super Bowl. Kentucky Derby is very high on my list.
Weren't you at the Super Bowl before a couple years ago?
I've never been to the actual game.
You went to the Pro Bowl, though.
Yeah, I went to locked in for the Pro Bowl. Masters is 1. Kentucky Derby's on the list. I've never been to the Derby. I really want to do that one day. I want to go to a World Cup match. I will check that box in about 2 years. I want to go to the Rose Bowl really bad, but not for like UCLA versus Cal. That's stupid. I want to go to like the actual Rose Bowl. That's what I want really, really bad. I went to the Orange Bowl 1 year. Like that was fun, but I want to go to the Rose Bowl because it's different, the Derby. And I also really want to go to a Formula One race. The one in Monaco with all the people on the boats. That's like if I had unlimited funds, I would do that.
The one in Texas looks fun. The one in Miami looks fun. And what they've done in Vegas, the late night races, actually looks like a lot of fun as well. Like, the United States has really grasped on to Formula One. It's a lot of fun. I mean, if someone besides Verstappen's not winning every single race, it could be fun. But I'm with you on Kentucky Derby. That'd be a one-time thing. Of course, you'd bet on all the races, not just the main event. But you'd have your mint juleps or whatever at the Kentucky Derby. A lot of people would say, be seen type thing, event. The Masters, I think, would just be epic, seeing that quality of golf on the golf course. The Super Bowl for sure, but the draft's right up there with me too. Again, I say it's a top 3 event because I think going to the draft would be epic. But as far as the trophy, Stanley Cup 1 for me, Masters green jacket 2. And I think you're kind of in lockstep with that.
I also have the World Cup trophy 3, but that's neither here nor there.
Are you going to go to all the World Cup events in Kansas City?
Not all of them. I'm going to go to as many as I can in Kansas City, but assuming Team USA is not going to be here, I will be traveling to go watch Team USA somewhere across the nation. I need to, that's on the to-do list when it comes to the United States in 2 years.
Don't they have to kind of fit Arrowhead for it?
They're doing that this offseason, I believe.
So they have to fit with the first row or something like that?
They gotta work the corners. The corners are, how the corners of Arrowhead are rounded. They got to square them off.
Okay. So you would definitely go there. I'm curious what you think on the text line, the J Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965. What is your bucket list for sporting events? Is the Masters right with you? Is it just something that's so big that you just have to be a part of it, or are you a huge golf fan? And this is like the epic thing for you to go do. Come up next, though, there's a certain player that wouldn't play for the Kansas City Chiefs, so explain why next.
Hey, it's Lucas Ursig from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to The Drive with CDOT on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Honey, it's me, your wife. Sorry to bother you, but this house is a mess. The windows are drafty, the vinyl siding has cracks and holes in it, and the kids just fell through the deck. We need Powell Exteriors KC now. They install James Hardie siding, Provia windows, Renaissance patio products, beautiful decks, roofing, and more, all at 0% interest for 18 months. Go to powellkc.com and see for yourself. Powell Exteriors KC. The best decision you've made since you married me.
At Diamonds Direct, our experts go the extra mile to ensure you have the tools to say I do with absolute confidence. Our promise to you is a completely risk-free shopping experience rooted in transparency, education, and integrity. No pressure, no intimidation, just clarity and confidence in your purchase. But we're about more than just price. Everything is backed by our exclusive guarantees. Put our tools to the test against any competitor, and our expert staff will ensure you get the very best overall value and unforgettable experience. Learn more at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
If you've been thinking about losing weight and you're not sure how to get it done, let me tell you why Awaken 180's weight loss at-home program is the correct choice for you. First off, no medications, no gym, no calorie counting. Sticking to the system is what worked for me. I had a weight loss goal in mind of 30 pounds. I am only a couple of pounds away officially from that weight loss goal. I've lost 24 pounds thanks to Awaken 180's at-home program. Give them a call. 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com, because I know you got questions. If you got questions for me, you can ask that as well. This will be the last time you have to lose weight. That's the goal, right? With their free support for life after you reach your weight loss goal, that is something that you can do at Awaken 180. I know it's a difficult decision figuring out what the best system is for you. Find out why it works so well for me. Don't waste any more time and make the decision I made at Awaken 180. Give them a call, 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Some things just go together, like peanut butter and jelly, or a Casey's spicy chicken sandwich and a 49-cent medium fountain drink, or a Casey's breakfast sandwich and a 49-cent fountain drink, or even Casey's limited time Italian deli sliders and a 49-cent fountain drink. You get the idea. It's not crazy. It's Casey's. See store for details.
Hi, Mia here at the winnings desk of the Missouri Lottery. With 56 million winning tickets last year, anyone can win big. So set your destination to winning, like gas stations, grocery stores, or anywhere you can buy a ticket. The Missouri Lottery. Winners welcome and play responsibly.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Catchy tune, right? But don't let the urge to sing along distract you from the truck drifting towards your lane, or that lane-splitting biker creeping up beside you. Fortunately, every Hyundai offers advanced safety features that can alert you to potential dangers around you. And Hyundai has over 130 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. Because Hyundai is always working to ensure the road doesn't... IIHS Top Safety Awards include Top Safety Pick and Top Safety Pick Plus awards to Hyundai vehicles from 2006 to 2025.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings. Because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up Oscar!
This report is brought to you by Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Each can of Surfside is only 100 calories and the best part, 0 bubbles. Grab it at the Cave or ask for it at your favorite bars and liquor stores.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Looking heavy already into downtown. Those slowdowns go back to Southwest Traffic Way. Eastbound 70, slow from the 435 exchange through the Blue Ridge cutoff, and some brake lights behind a stalled car on the left shoulder, southbound 35, just past Johnson Drive. I'm Lori Pearson, 96.5, The Fan Traffic.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Welcome back, Jay Binkley,
Make sure
Rob
to
Britton.
follow The Drive on the Odyssey app.
The
or
Drive.
wherever you get your podcasts.
Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcast. 100%. Rob, people need to learn how to drive, though. Have you noticed the more and more people that are on their phones or whatever, taking care of business, whatever the hell they're doing, at stoplights, and they just sit there, and you start laying on the horn like, move it, man, move it, because the light's quick, because someone inevitably is texting or calling somebody. Have you noticed that? That seems to be a real problem lately.
I mean, I don't know if it's lately. I think that's been a consistent problem for a long time.
It's a major, major problem, I think. Well, one of the guys that's opened up his mouth, to Kay Adams, she has her podcast. You know, a lot of Chiefs actually make their way on her podcast, and she kind of agrees with pretty much everybody that comes on there, whatever they say, to be honest with you. But Justin Simmons was on it. He's the former Broncos safety, played at the Boston College, former third-round pick back in 2016. He played last year with the Atlanta Falcons, but he's available to go. And dude can play. Dude has 32 interceptions in his career. He's been a good football player. But is going to the Kansas City Chiefs, would that even be possible? I don't think the Chiefs wouldn't want him, but would he want to come to Kansas City? And is this a common sentiment with a lot of players not wanting to play for the Chiefs? That's what he said on Kay Adams.
This is where my heart is torn. Like, speaking truthfully here, my heart is torn because I've always been so publicly against Kansas City, and it's because they're a really good team. It's not like a true hate. I want to beat them. Like, it's just ingrained to me to beat them. And so I think it was Josh Jacobs a while ago that there was links to him when he was leaving Vegas to go to Kansas City. Yeah. He was like, no, I want to beat them. And then, he's with Green Bay now. I feel the exact same way. And so am I shutting that door? Am I closing it? No. But like, I want to be the team that beats them.
Of course, he's not closing the door. And you expect somebody that's, coming off the Broncos or Raiders, even though we've seen teams and guys flip and play for other teams. We saw Neil Smith go to the Broncos. We saw Marcus Allen go from the Raiders to the Chiefs, these quote rivals. He did play for the Falcons last year on a one-year deal, Justin Simmons, but he didn't close the door. He didn't close the door. He said, I want to beat the Chiefs. I mean, I respect that if it's a rival or whatever, but these guys don't care. He's from the East Coast. What's he care? He played at Boston College. But is that a sentiment? Do you think a lot of guys thinking, hey, I want to beat the Chiefs, I don't want to play for the Chiefs? You would think it'd be the opposite, especially a guy like Justin Simmons, been playing since 2016, a chance to go and get a ring. Oh, nothing against those guys. Nothing against those guys. I just want to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I call bullcrap on that. I do. I think guys talk big. I know Josh Jacobs made kind of the same comments when he's leaving the Raiders. He wouldn't go play for the Chiefs. I call bullcrap on that because I think guys will go play wherever there's a check, to be honest with you, and a chance to win a ring. I'm not buying what he's saying at all. 0%.
I mean, I'm buying it. A little part of me respects it. Like,
if he still played for the Broncos, he's played for the Falcons, man.
Yeah, but I mean, the Chiefs signed. I don't know. The Chiefs approached him. I have no insider information on there. But like, the Chiefs signed Mike Edwards. Was it Thursday or Friday last week?
No, they did. He won a ring with Kansas City. We played with Tampa to beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Justin Simmons is a better safety than Mike Edwards, but the Chiefs signed Mike Edwards. So I respect that Justin Simmons is saying, "Nah, I don't want to ever be on the Chiefs," but I think it's a sign of respect. I think the NFL wants to beat the Chiefs. I think people on the Eagles are extra happy because they beat the Chiefs. This is all a sign of respect. I want to beat that team. I think this is totally honest by Justin Simmons, and I respect the hell out of him for saying it because, I hear about, how basketball was better in the old days and baseball was better because the guys weren't chummy. Justin Simmons is coming out and saying, I don't want to be friends with those guys. I want to beat them. There's like an old school, I want to be the best mentality there. And while I don't want the Chiefs to lose to Justin Simmons, no matter where he lands, I respect Justin Simmons and Josh Jacobs for saying, nah, I ain't playing with those guys. I want to beat those guys. There's a part of me that really respects that.
I saw a little bit of talking out of both sides of his mouth, though. Didn't you kind of hear it, too? I want to beat the Chiefs, but I'm not closing the door. Meaning, hey, if the Chiefs are my only option and they're willing to pay, I'd go play. To me, he was talking out both sides of his mouth. Like, I respect if he say, no, I'm never going to play for that team. But he said, no, the door's not closed. That's what he said. I don't think they'd ever take him. He's a hell of a player. But did you see that? Did you hear that? He kind of talked out of both sides of his mouth. Like, if you're going to take a stance, take a stance. Don't sit there and say the door would still be open. Not going to close the door, he said.
I think he heard his agent's voice be like, no, don't ever close the door. I don't think the Chiefs would ever sign him because now they have Mike Edwards, they have Jaden Hicks on the roster, they have Brian Cook.
Not a possibility, but
I don't think the Chiefs need him, but you're right. Maybe he did talk out both sides of the mouth a little bit. I wish he would have stood on business, as the kids say, but
he didn't stand on business.
I do respect the fact that he said, I'm not playing for the Chiefs.
Yeah, and again, that's what he said.
This is where my heart is torn. Like, speaking truthfully here, my heart is torn because I've always been so publicly against Kansas City, and it's because they're a really good team. It's not like a true hate. I want to beat them. Like, it's just ingrained to me to beat them. And so I think it was Josh Jacobs a while ago that there was links to him when he was leaving Vegas to go to Kansas City. Yeah. He was like, no, I want to beat them. And then, he's with Green Bay now. I feel the exact same way. And so, am I shutting that door? Am I closing it? No, but
exactly.
I want to be the team that beats them.
I'm sorry, Justin, but you stand on business, man. You say, no way, man, I'm not going there. But it's also a guy that's kind of desperate who's going to sign me. I'm not going to close that door. So that's my problem, Rob. I have no problem with him wanting to stand on loyalty and stand on business and all that. But when you say I'm not going to close the door, you're talking out of both sides of your mouth.
He is talking a little bit about both.
Because if Patrick Mahomes started texting him and stuff like that, he'd be here in a second.
I don't know about that. I think he just kept the door open because you never know. You never know. But
yeah, he wants to play somewhere.
I think if he had his complete say so, he would never want to be a member of the Chiefs.
We just keep hearing this from certain players, and I'm not buying it. Players will go where the paycheck is. They will. Because in the end all be all, that's where it is. Like, people don't have these ingrained hatred for teams like they do rivals. You don't want to see one of your players go play for one of your rivals, but we've seen it. We've seen it happen in Kansas City. The Raiders have seen guys come to Kansas City. It's just what happens. It's what happens in the NFL when you start to have desperation types start to seep in. You're like, hey, I just want to go somewhere they will win. If that's important to a player to actually win a championship, which that should be the end-all, be-all of players. Not everybody's Myles Garrett that'll sell out for saying he wants to go somewhere else, and then all of a sudden Cleveland will pay him and back up the Brinks truck. And, I'm fine right here. Not everybody is as shallow as that he wasn't standing on business, but I get it. You want to go where the paycheck is. I get that. This whole sentiment towards Kansas City and always being good, I guess they've gotten to that point. I really didn't hear a ton of, I'm not going to New England. I'm not going to go play for Tom Brady. I'm not going to go play for a team that wins all the time. Like, to me, that's the player I'd want. I want a player that wants to win a ring, wants to win a championship, wants to be part of championship DNA. It's the kind of guy I'd go after. And clearly, when you say, I'm not closing the door, it screams of desperation. It means you're being all macho and stuff. And then, if they called me, maybe I'm not going to close that door because of his agent. of course, saying that. But will the Chiefs carry the villain role this year in the NFL like in previous years? I think Philadelphia will take that because there is not really much to like about the Eagles, and they'll let you know how good they are. And I'm sure Josh Jacobs and Green Bay has no love lost because of the tush push and Green Bay wanting to put it into law in the NFL. And, of course, that goes against Philadelphia, who did beat them twice last year. But there's nothing to like about Philadelphia. And I think a lot of people will turn on that team because what happens is when you're good, people start to hate you. And we really started seeing the last couple of years with the Chiefs. I really started seeing it wasn't just last year. It was the year before. People, getting sick of the Chiefs winning all the time. It's a good feeling. It's a good place to be. I would always remind people in the postgame show, keep in mind, they're going to crap on the Chiefs on Monday. If the Chiefs go out and have a bad game, they're going to crap on the Chiefs. There wasn't many opportunities to, but it was, they're lucky. They get lucky at the end. They win these one-score games, and, the ball bounced their direction. They blocked the kick. They're lucky. You hear it all the time. But I noticed something different with this team. I don't know if you guys have noticed it. I've noticed it. Like Mahomes, we know he, shaved the hair. It's shorter now. But I've seen some of the commercials like Head and Shoulders. I haven't seen Mahomes on it. To me, Rob, I think they're keeping kind of a low profile. But as you said, maybe they're filming stuff and it'll come out later. But I think a lot of their Q rating, because nationally they're looked upon as the villains. You haven't seen Kelsey being rolled out in the million commercials. I'll be honest with you, you can't flip on the TV and not see Rob Gronkowski in a bunch of commercials, but nobody complains about that. But I've kind of seen a lower profile from these Chiefs guys, especially in Kelsey and Mahomes. They're not on TV all the time. I've seen Andy Reid on TV more than they have been with his new Skechers commercials.
I don't mind the idea that Chiefs taking a low profile.
I'm 100% for it.
I mean, you kind of have to. When you get walloped in the Super Bowl, you can't really do a media tour. You can't really do a, look where I'm at, celebration. You kind of got to go into hiding. And the Chiefs didn't just get beat in the Super Bowl. They got humiliated in the Super Bowl. They got absolutely boat raced. So I have no problem with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and co, going a little bit more low profile off the grid type of offseason.
I've noticed a much different offseason.
I would agree. I do think with the commercials, some of that's just they want these commercials during football games, and so they have to record them in April, May, June, July. If you follow Patrick Mahomes on Instagram, usually it's May, June, July when he's out recording these things. So it could be just a timeline of the year but you could see another wave of them from State Farm and all these things. But I definitely don't mind the Chiefs staying out of the limelight because they got absolutely smoked in the Super Bowl.
It's the way things are. If you're good, people want to crush you. People want to diminish what you're doing. I saw it happen to Tebow. Once he was a star in college, goes to the NFL, and people crapped on him. I saw it happen to Johnny Manziel. He wins the Heisman, goes back to Texas A&M. People like to crap on him. It's not going to make it the NFL. People laughed at it. People like to see failures. They like to build you up, and they like to see you ultimately fall. And I think that's happened to the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they're embracing it, and that's great. And they should. After all, they did win 15 games in the regular season. After all, they did win the AFC. After all, they did go to the Super Bowl. Not Josh Allen, not Lamar Jackson, not Justin Herbert. Joe Burrow didn't even make the playoffs, and he's talked about all the time. I like the low profile, though. I do. They don't need the commercials. They really don't. They make enough money on everything else anyway. It doesn't matter. I was of the opinion that the Chiefs really ought to consider who they're doing interviews with. I'll be honest with you. Like locally here, fine. Like when they come on with you guys have Mahomes on all the time every week during the season. He comes on with you guys, which is great because you're not going to crap on him. But there's been a lot of people in the national media, whether it's ESPN, NFL Network, you name it, that have kind of crapped on the Chiefs. They really have. If I'm these players, I spurn interviews, a lot of them. I know they mandatorily have to do like their press conferences and whatnot. I'd keep it at that, to be honest with you. I think there's been a lot of people to throw dirt on the Chiefs. Now, there's certain guys that haven't, like Pat McAfee, something like that. I mean, he's been good to the Chiefs. I mean, there's certain guys you would go on with, but there's been a lot of hatred pointed towards the Kansas City Chiefs, Rob. We saw a lot last year. I think the players started to realize it too. Maybe a little bit later than we did, but I really saw this happening in 23 as well. And in 24 it exploded.
I mean, this is what happens when you're good. Like, I wouldn't be turning down interviews on the Chiefs. I would just keep going about my business. But this is what happens when you're successful. Like you just talked about 2 minutes ago. They like to build you up, then make you a villain. Well,
they do.
They enter their villain era because they were winning. Like
in some sports, in golf, like they don't do it.
I mean, but when you reach the highest mountaintop, we go out of our way to crush you. Like think about this. Look, it's a small example. It's a different example, but you'll get it. LeBron James is talked about every single day on every single network. I don't know how. It'll be September, and it'll be gearing up for the season, and some network will just, let's get a segment off about LeBron James, because why not? LeBron does not, respond to all of it. LeBron doesn't say, I'm refusing to do, media with these people because they were mean to me and they crap. You just stay quiet, keep going about your business, because what bothers, the people you're referencing more than, shutting them down is blatant ignoring. This is just what happens when you're successful. So I'm happy the Chiefs didn't come out and say, you're not going on with Skip Bayless. If you get a request, go do Skip Bayless show. Who cares? Just go about your business and win.
Maybe I'm petty. I'd be like, what'd you say? What were you saying about us last year? Did you crap on me going forward? Because I really didn't hear the fact that Mahomes has been the AFC title game every year. I didn't hear people talking about the Chiefs getting screwed by Tom Brady in the NFL rules, where both quarterbacks don't get a chance in overtime in the postseason. Nobody mentioned that. They sure as hell mentioned it when it didn't happen to Josh Allen. Like, they love that. He wins the MVP, damn near have a parade for him. Big deal. Who cares? The whole Lamar Jackson talk with Josh Allen, who's going to be the MVP, let them have their fun. They didn't win. The NFL awards, the last 2 years that happened right before the Super Bowl that week, Chiefs don't win those. They didn't win Assistant Coach of the Year, anything. 2 years ago, not last year, Andy Reid didn't win Coach of the Year. All he does is win. All he is second all-time in postseason wins. All he is fourth all-time in regular season wins. All the Chiefs have done is win 9 straight divisions. I hear the Buccaneers have won 4 in a row all the time. That's being brought up. Can they win a 5th in a row? The Chiefs are going for the all-time record. The Patriots had the all-time record at 11 division titles in a row. The Chiefs have 9. So they're right on the doorstep of that. I like the low profile. I do. I like just standing on business, just going out and doing your deal. Again, these guys have a ton of money. It doesn't really matter. But there's a little bit of pettiness I have, with these places. Because if you've crapped on the Chiefs, why should they go on with you on interviews? Why should that person in the media sit there and laugh and giggle, oh, you're so funny, Patrick. Oh, you're so funny. Let me just tear you apart during the end of the season and then have you on my show to get better ratings. No, it didn't work that way. I wouldn't do that. But the Chiefs, everybody hates them except for the NFL. And when you want to talk about it's kind of Kansas City against the world, and I love that because, yes, everybody does hate us. It is fun to be the villain. I think people in this town have kind of accepted it. I think the Chiefs have accepted it. They didn't want to. It kind of caught them off guard at first that everybody loved them, and all of a sudden, whoa, why does everybody hate us now? Because there was a lot of vitriol towards a team that just keeps winning. That respect was really, it was disrespectful what a lot of people said about this franchise at times. But I'm all about them just coming out and proving themselves, because I think Philadelphia's going to run with that. I do. Maybe the text line says Saquon's a likable guy and Jalen Hurts. Yeah, they are. But there's a lot of that team that people don't like. They don't like the head coach. Nick Sirianni rubs a lot of people the wrong way. Andy Reid does not. But that's cool for the Chiefs to take a low profile. The NFL, I will say this, they love to fine the Chiefs. They love to levy fines on the team. The Chiefs have done nothing but make the NFL money hand over fist. They were the first ever team on Peacock in the postseason. Not the first ever on Peacock, but in the postseason. The first ever Netflix game they were on. They were the first ever Amazon Prime game. They were really the impetus to put the Thursday night game. They were in the first ever Thanksgiving night game because Lamar Hunt really wanted that. God rest his soul, wanted that. But the NFL's made money hand over fist. 93 of the top 100 programs were NFL games. 15 of those were Kansas City Chiefs. They're a cash cow. Whether you love them or hate them, you're still watching them. I'm not talking about here in Kansas City. Of course you are. I'm talking about all over. They've resonated to I want to see them lose, or I want to see them win with Chiefs Kingdom. But a lot of people want to see them fall. But then what are you going to do? When they do fall, what are you going to do? Are they going to be the underdog again and you're like it? I think kind of going for somebody that's getting crapped on, that's still really good, is more fun. I do. I've always liked Tiger Woods, and when he went through his indiscretions there with his ex-wife, I liked him more, to be honest with you. I like a good comeback story. I like somebody kind of, hey, this guy's made a ton of money for the world of golf. This guy's putting a ton of money in guys' pockets, yet some of the guys did crap on him, even though he was the guy putting money in their pockets. I think the Chiefs have raised the profile of the league, and I think they've garnered people money. And the more that people crap on the team, I hope they take it personally. We've already seen the haircut from Mahomes. Hopefully they keep taking it personally. I would love to see it. Just stand on business. Just go out your way. But they're not doing it. You're not overloaded with commercials because people got tired of that. Every time I turn the TV on, it's Mahomes or Kelsey, or you hear that from all these NFL fans all over the place. Well, you're not seeing it anymore. Again, you see Gronk on TV far more than anybody else. It's not even close how many times he's on TV. People don't have a problem with Tom Brady being a minority owner in the Raiders, but yet still on the broadcast. If that were a Chief, oh my God, it would be insanity. People would be all up in arms because of that. But embrace the hate. I've always said embrace the hate. You're the villain. Just be that way. I saw it with the Royals. 14, everybody liked the Royals. People felt pride wearing Royals hats again on airplanes where they traveled across the country. Then in 15, once they proved they were a good team, people started to turn that corner. Oh, we don't want to see that. And then all of a sudden, owners start shaking because, oh my God, a small market team is actually going to win the World Series. It puts them under the radar, their front office under the radar. But the Chiefs have done it, and it's incredible what they've done, considering every team spends the same amount of money. Everybody drafts from the same pool. Yeah, there's some guys that don't go to the combine, and the Chiefs have been good with that. Mike Dana never went to the combine, but they drafted him and developed him and played him. But the Chiefs do it through the front office. They do it with the players on the field. And what Andy Reid keeps doing by just winning, they just, if you're around the NFL, just shut your mouth and watch the team. They're probably going to beat you because they like to beat you. And I cannot wait for this draft. Coming up next, though, speaking of the draft, a little countdown to the NFL draft. Be curious what the topic is today.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts. Offer in-store only. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
So, your small business is outgrowing your garage. You could go online, find a space, and get catfished. Or you could work with an agent who's a realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors, right by you.
Ring the bell! We've done it again! Golden Oak Lending has lowered rates to 4.875 fixed. Lower your monthly payment, get cash out, pay off credit cards, and best of all, make no mortgage payments for 2 months. Lock in this incredible 4.875 rate and get your cash in as little as 14 days. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing cured my blues.
5.81 APR, FHA, 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit. Additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
These days, figuring out what, where, and how to watch TV is out of control. And so is the cost. That's why I'm psyched I found Philo. Live TV from A&E, Discovery, MTV, and all the channels I love. A huge library of movies and shows, and an unlimited DVR to save them. I also get AMC Plus and all their blockbuster hits. All this for just $28 a month when you sign up at philo.tv. Give it a try, risk-free at philo.tv.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey, more like Mira-joyed that Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at Walmart.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
Men, is good enough really what you want with your sex life? This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if erectile dysfunction is making a bad bedroom experience for you and your partner, you should call us because you want your intimacy to be fantastic, both for you and the one you love. At Heartland Men's Health, our treatments have success rates of well over 90%. And because we're a medical practice focused on men's sexual health, we can offer many treatment options and even combine treatments to find the right one for you. Which means if you're like most of our patients, we can likely get you performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and make a change from good enough to really good. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices to serve you. Heartland Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
At Lowe's, pros save big on the supplies you need to get the job done. With the new My Lowe's Pro Rewards program, get member-only deals every week and access to free standard shipping. Plus, members earn points toward exclusive rewards. Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. Program subject to terms and conditions. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts. Offer in-store only. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
So, your small business is outgrowing your garage. You could go online, find a space, and get catfished. Or you could work with an agent who's a realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors, right by you.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Stalled car closing the right lane of eastbound 70 just past 40 Highway. Then another stalled out car with the right lane closed eastbound 70 at 435. So there's a couple right there in a row. And traffic heavy from the Blue Ridge cutoff all the way back to about 27th Street. I'm Lori Pearson, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
Chiefs fans, it's Trent McDuffie. Welcome to The Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back to The Drive. Jay Binkley, Rob Britton. Don't forget, 96.5 The Fan draft event at the Landing in Liberty. That's right. It's a perfect spot to have it. We did it last year for the first round. We'll do a live broadcast the entire time, 5-6 hours, whatever it takes. Thursday, April 24th, the Landing in Liberty is where it's at. Starting at 6, I'll be there. Chris Nocero will be there. Our character concerns will be there, but the whole staff will be there. Rob Britton's there. Drew Nixon, if you want to have him talk about making the Masters, he'll be there. Basically, the whole staff. $965 in prize money now for predicting the most players right. You get extra points for picking the correct team. It's obviously up from 610 from 610 Sports Days to 96.5 with an autographed Jawan Taylor helmet as well. The sheet for your picks must be turned in, of course, prior to number 1, Tennessee, on the clock, which that one should be a real easy one. Actually, the first 3 should be real easy to get the correct pick and the correct team. So see what you can do at the Landing in Liberty coming up on the 24th. By the way, the Royals roster move, as Rob mentioned earlier, Mark Canha, 10-day IL list, left abductor strain. These baseball injuries are wild, man. Left abductor strain with him. Drew Waters. Everybody wants to see some Drew Waters. He's back. See what he can do. He's recalled from Omaha. And yes, text line that asked me if I talked Royals. I've led with the Royals the last 2 days, as a matter of fact. I was the Royals insider during some really bad baseball as well. So I've talked plenty of Royals, and I love the Royals. I'm rocking the Royals gear. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. But, yes, I do love the Kansas City Royals. Seth Lugo on the mound. Vern comes your direction. Vern is the absolute best, comes your direction at 5:30. But now it's time for our countdown to the draft that you do every day, Rob, and I think it's simply brilliant.
Bink, today for our countdown to the draft conversation, simple to twofold. We'll start with this. First things first, a little news and notes. Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback of the Colorado Buffaloes, or I guess former quarterback of the Colorado Buffaloes, he is entering the NFL draft. He is a polarizing character, as many mocks have him falling. He recently, according to Ian Rappaport, took a top 30 visit. I know how you love a good top 30 visit, Bink.
Love a good top 30 visit. People go nuts on that.
He went to visit the Pittsburgh Steelers, who hold the 21st overall pick. First things first, Bink, two-part question. Let's start here. Do you believe the mock drafts that could have Shedeur Sanders falling and falling fast on the NFL draft in a few weeks?
I don't. I think he's the second best quarterback in this draft class. I don't like this draft class. I mean, Cam Ward's okay. I mean, in previous years, wouldn't have him as the number one quarterback for sure. I do like Cam Ward. I've liked him ever since he transferred from Incarnate Word up to Washington State and then down to Miami. He's a fantastic player. But Shedeur's number two. And as far as sliding up and down, the NFL is desperate for quarterbacks. They're desperate for quarterback play. And I'll give props to the Atlanta Falcons. They went out and got Penix last year because they had a top 10 pick. Even though they gave the bag to Kirk Cousins, they still had the gonads to go out and get Michael Penix because they probably, and I don't want to give them too much credit, but if they were looking at the 25 and 26 quarterback draft classes, they're probably like, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's go ahead and get Penix while we have the opportunity, even though a guy like Arch Manning will be in next year's class, but you got to really suck to be able to get Arch Manning. But no, again, the NFL is so quarterback starved, so quarterback crazy. I will say this. I did like his toughness. You can't question that from him. I mean, there's certain things you can question. You cannot question the guy's toughness. He stood in the pocket getting drilled. I mean, drilled time after time with that crappy line at Colorado. And, of course, a porous running game. Stood in the pocket, and he delivered. I'll give it. He is a tough dude. But will he fall? No, I don't think so because it's such a quarterback-starved league. And there's so many teams. Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold played like absolute dog crap the last couple games of the year. Everybody loved him during the year, but he became Sam Darnold again. Let's not forget the guy that saw Ghost in New York showed up, and Casper was out there again because he was crap as a quarterback the last couple games for the Vikings. Knew he was going to get paid. Knew he was going to get the bag. Why? Because NFL teams are starved for quarterbacks.
I actually think I agree with you there. Like, crediting the Falcons, Penix would be the best quarterback in this draft, probably.
100%.
And I like Cam Ward too. I think people are talking about Cam Ward because he's the quarterback and the obvious number one. But and I think in a lot of previous drafts he would be like the third or fourth best quarterback. So I think there's a lot of buzz for Cam Ward, who's kind of just a product of the draft he's in. But the second part of my two-part question, Bink. The Steelers are getting a top 30 visit from Shedeur Sanders. Let's just play out a hypothetical. The Pittsburgh Steelers, Shedeur Sanders does drop. Contrary to what you believe, let's just say he does, and the Steelers take him at 21. Or maybe they trade up to 15. They get Shedeur Sanders.
Which has happened.
Very possible. That's how Kenny Pickett ended up in Pittsburgh.
Aaron Rodgers slipped and fell.
Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, if Shedeur Sanders ends up in Pittsburgh in some form or fashion, where does the former MVP Aaron Rodgers end up? Because it's looking less and less like Miami. And if Pittsburgh takes Shedeur, it's probably unlikely to be Pittsburgh. And the Giants don't seem like a destination anymore. And he left the Jets. What's the future for Aaron Rodgers look like as we inch closer and closer to the draft?
I still think the Giants, in that desperation mode, they need to go there because it'll save Daboll's job. It will. Because Daboll, in my opinion, is the first NFL coach fired. Shouldn't even be coach of it this year. But if you have a rookie quarterback, you can kind of withstand saying, hey, man, the guy's a rookie. Here's the thing with Rodgers. When's McAfee having his big Pittsburgh show? I know he's going back
Yeah, that's coming up.
Okay, it's coming up. And Rogers, synonymous for going on the Pat McAfee show, right? What's a better way in place to announce he's going to become a Pittsburgh Steeler than McAfee's Pittsburgh show? I'm just saying, when's that thing? Because that's coming up soon.
I'd have to look up the exact date, but
that to me screams Rogers makes a decision.
That's the most Aaron Rodgers outcome possible. Go on McAfee on Pittsburgh Day and have a celebration of you in Pittsburgh. Get your moment, get your flowers. I'm telling you, though, there's a lot of, I don't know if it's smoke to fire or just rumors, but the noise around Aaron Rodgers potentially retiring is starting to get a little louder. You're seeing Schefter and Rappaport start to say things like, if he plays this season, is a sentence like, he's not exactly a spring chicken. I wonder if the last couple of years with his body, he's starting to wonder how much he has left. But he is dragging this thing out.
He is, but this is it. I mean, you have to realize, Tom Brady realized, he's like, I still need to play football. He played to 45? Still need to play. You have one chance in life to do it. Do I think Aaron Rodgers gives some validity to the Steelers? 100%. They need him at quarterback. And if Shedeur would learn underneath Aaron Rodgers, perfect for situation for them. I'm sure you don't want to sit there and wait and drag it out, even though the Steelers have kind of, changed what they've been saying. Like, hey, if you want to be a Steeler, you be a Steeler. You do it right away. They've kind of changed that sentiment just to be exact. But DK Metcalf was catching passes from Rodgers. That was interesting to me. And this whole McAfee thing is interesting to me, too, because if there's not any more – and I know he's from Pittsburgh. He went to West Virginia. Made McAfee from Pittsburgh, I think he is, but he's doing a big Pittsburgh soiree show, and Rodgers has been his dude that comes on all the time. To me, this screams he'll announce he's a Pittsburgh Steeler on the McAfee show.
I'm looking up when that Pittsburgh show is.
It's coming
April
up.
9th.
Okay. Oh, that's
big night. Big night with Pat McAfee and friends on April 9th. So
today's
tonight,
April 9th.
Yeah.
So tonight.
That's tonight, yeah.
So, yeah, you find out
So
then.
you think tomorrow probably, Pat McAfee, it's an event at an arena tonight, so it's like it kind of feels like a big slick type event, but that would mean Rodgers is a Steeler in the coming hours.
Would I doubt at all that Rodgers becomes a Steeler today? No. I think it's very possible with McAfee. If he doesn't make a decision tonight, I don't think he plays. I think it is retirement for him at that point. So that one chance in life to do it. You might as well take advantage of it. Steelers desperately need it. I mean, they are quarterback starved as far as that's concerned. But so it's a night show, huh?
Yeah, it's big night AHT. I think it's Ott Pittsburgh. Like it's maybe not euphemism. It's a way Pittsburghians speak. It's a dialect thing. Big night Ott Pittsburgh.
Well, he did that with West Virginia as well, where he went to the school and all that. But I definitely know the NFL, quote, insiders will be watching this intently. Now, I'm curious about it. I'm curious about which direction they go as well. But to me, the gut says he's a Steeler. He does. Do I think that the Giants are making a mistake? Yeah, because it would save Dayball's job either to have him or drafting a quarterback early on, because it's looking like Abdul Carter to the Giants, so we'll see what happens. But I do think he becomes a Pittsburgh Steeler. Coming up next, you guys have definitely weighed in on top sporting events. I'll get back to that. Plus, jersey combinations. We've seen a lot, especially with the Kansas City Royals. Do you guys like them or not? Next.
Hey, it's Cole Ragans from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to The Drive with CDOT on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Stalled car closing the right lane of eastbound 70 just past 40 highway. Then another stalled out car with the right lane closed eastbound 70 at 435. So there's a couple right there in a row. And traffic heavy from the Blue Ridge cutoff all the way back to about 27th Street. I'm Lori Pearson, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Results every week and then receive free support for life. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Down almost 30 pounds. Fast, right? Look, the best part is that the weight will stay gone because Awaken 180 isn't a Band-Aid. It's the solution for weight loss. Do what I'm doing. lose the weight, and receive free support for life. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Buckle up and hang on. This is going to be a good one.
The fans of Kansas Speedway know how to have a good time. One that celebrates fantastic finishes.
Crash together. So close.
And family-friendly facilities. Trading paint.
We got feuding.
And tailgating tradition. Burnouts. Beer. And barbecue. Oh, it'll for sure be a good time. And you are all invited. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 9th through the 11th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Saturday, I got wings, but today I'm celebrating it in style and getting barbecue. And there's only one place to go pick that up, and that's with my friends over at Gates Barbecue. With 5 locations around town, you were never too far away from that classic taste. And listen to me, Gates is switching up the menu a little bit. They now have the Burnt E Mac. It is some delicious macaroni and cheese, and it's topped with some burnt ends. Get it? Burnt E Mac. They also have the chicken link, which is exceptional as well. Don't also miss out on some of their cool specialty items. Like you can stop by the one over on Main Street and get the chicken wings that's also available on the one over on State Line. Maybe you're planning on cooking today. Well, the next time you go to the grocery store, make sure you pick up some of that classic Gates sauce. Also, make sure you pick up some of that classic Gates seasoning. Use that Gates seasoning on anything. Use that on your vegetables. You can even use it on your popcorns and your salad. No matter what your barbecue needs are for tonight, trust me, Gates Barbecue has you ready.
Hey there, I'm Jack.
And I'm Stag.
We're just 2 deer that want to make sure you know it's deer season at your authorized John Deere dealer. The deer season that saves bucks. You know, like us.
Yeah, you can get $3,000 off select John Deere machines. No early wake-up calls or tree stands required.
Just a trip to your authorized dealer before June 2nd.
If you ask us, it's the only deer season worth celebrating.
Visit johndeere.com/deer season to find an authorized dealer and for complete finance details.
Red Hot Car Giveaway, only at Harris, Kansas City. Saturday, April 26th, one lucky winner will win a brand new Red Hot Lexus ES350. Harris is giving away $2,500 in free play every 15 minutes from 7 p.m. till 10:45 p.m. At 11, 2 winners will receive $5,000 in free play, and 1 person will win $10,000 cash. And 1 person drives home a brand new Lexus ES350. Visit our website for full details. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The deals are hot, hot, hot this weekend at Hy-Vee. This Friday through Sunday, for 3 days only, the deals are on fire. Get boneless, skinless chicken breast, $2.99 a pound. 24-pack Hy-Vee water, $1.99. Red Baron frozen pizza, $2.99 each. And Coca-Cola 6-packs, just $3.69. Check out our low everyday prices on thousands of items. Stock up and save big this Friday through Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
There's nothing better than breakfast at the Hy-Vee Market Grill. They have fresh, made-to-order breakfast entrees crafted with the highest quality ingredients, like Hy-Vee's famous biscuits and gravy, sunrise breakfast burrito, the brioche French toast, sweet cream pancakes, omelet skillets, and more, all served with a side of fresh and crispy hash browns. Kids 5 and under always eat free, and they serve 6 to 11 a.m. on Monday through Friday and 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Mornings just got a whole lot brighter with breakfast at Hy-Vee Market Grill.
Hey there, Royals fans. It's Royals Hall of Famer Mike Sweeney. Have you or your kids experienced a high school coach who wants to make our Kansas City community a better place to live, work, and play? The Royals and the See You in the Major Leagues Foundation, together with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City, are shining a spotlight on 6 impactful coaches in the KC metro area. Nominate a high school coach today at royals.com/coaches with character.
Man, are you over 40 and struggling with low energy, not feeling like yourself? Low T Center's testosterone replacement therapy is the solution. Get started today by visiting one of our conveniently located clinics. Meet a medical provider and get back to feeling your best. This April only, the consultation is free. Treatment is tailor-made just for you and is covered by most major insurance. Get treated at our centers or from home. Why wait? Book your appointment now at lowtcenter.com. That's lowtcenter.com.
Royals coverage sponsored by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
At Metal by the Foot, we pride ourselves on delivering the highest quality metal to meet your exact needs. Located in Casey and Topeka, online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
Join us for the Fans Draft Party on Thursday, April 24th from the Landing in Liberty. We'll be broadcasting live, plus your chance to win $965 and an autographed Chiefs helmet in our draft contest. KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Welcome back, 4 o'clock hour. Jay Binkley, Rob Britton, Carrington back tomorrow. As far as the text line, Jay Southland Tow Service text line, and I should have mentioned this, but the Waste Management Open, the 16th, that looks like a fun party. To be honest with you, it's kind of gotten corporate too a lot too. You notice that, Rob? Like they have the suites and everything that's sitting there. I know that some people get at their fans, but it's a lot of suites. They've kind of changed that thing a little bit. I mean, it's still a major party and people chanting and all that, but you got to have some cash, too.
I think someone told me the story, and I don't remember all the details. It was a mess when the Super Bowl was the Eagles and Chiefs down there, and it, like, coincided.
Oh.
They had, like, a ticketing issue, or, like, they had a beer issue, and there's, like, videos of people who were, like, look like zombies stumbling around because they've been overserved. So, like, I think they've kind of tightened up what the waste management is after a really, really bad event in 2023.
But no question about the 16th there, or the 17th at Sawgrass, the 137-yard par 3. The Island Green, that'd be fun. I mean, it'd be fun to perch out and just watch that. That'd be 100%. That'd be.
Would you not be out behind the green or behind the tee box?
Green.
I think I would be behind the tee box. Just see, like, get a trajectory of the ball. I'd be fascinated. It'd be fun. Where is that? That one's Sawgrass.
Sawgrass
Florida, yeah.
by Jacksonville.
Yeah.
The Island Green thing looks fun to me, though. But the Royals jersey combos, I've heard this conversation quite a bit. There were people freaking out about them wearing powder blue pants and shirts. And it's the only thing they were doing. But they did it on opening day, okay? They did it. They were off Friday. They did it again Saturday because that's their Saturday home uniform, powder blue pants, powder blue shirts, the batting practice hat, the white front with the crown. And then they wore it again. And I was like, oh, they wear it all the time because they were wearing it for the Milwaukee Brewers opening day. Then they went back to the grays, then the dark blue uniform they typically wear during day games on the road. So I was doing a night show that night, and people were wondering about it. And so I texted Steve Stewart. I emailed the Royals saying, what's going on? People are like, they don't want to see it too much. Don't want to see it too many times, the powder blues. But it's their Saturday home. But this is the way Major League Baseball has gotten. These City Connect jerseys are all over. Did you see the Giants last night by chance? The Giants, I don't know if they had one previously, but they introduced, quote, their new City Connect jersey. It dealt with the music theme. It had the Giants in big letters. It's kind of an orange-purplish mix. I don't know if you were at the game last night. I don't know if you saw it. But that was what they introduced. And the Mets, I absolutely hate the Mets City Connect. They've got like a stupid bridge. The bridge across the top of it on their helmets and stuff. It's dumb. The Royals is perfect, man. City Connect is freaking awesome. It looks good. I like the Saturday uniforms. Again, this is the way Major League Baseball has gone. Nobody's going as crazy as what the Diamondbacks are doing, literally a million different uniform combinations. I consider them the Oregon Ducks of professional baseball. But I'm with this, man. Really, the only time you're going to get the whites at home are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Of course, if it's an off day, you won't have it then. Friday, you're going to get City Connect at home. That's just the way it's going to be. It was those gold uniforms that they wore for a couple years after winning the World Series with the lettering being gold. Now the Dodgers wearing, actually teams that win the World Series wear that, but the Royals did it for a couple of years. The City Connects are Friday. Saturday, home games. You'll see the powder blues. Love it. Sunday, they'll do what they've been doing, white pants, the powder blue jerseys, and back to the traditional Royals hat on Sunday. And then on the road, they'll wear the grays, they'll wear the dark blues. And baseball's full of superstitions. There's not a, quote, official road uniform. So if players get hot in certain uniforms, you'll probably see them wear them from time to time. It just happens. Players are superstitious. It's like the Blues. They finally lost the game. They'd won 12 in a row. I'm sure they carried on different superstitions until that streak was over. But I'm for it. I like it. I like what Major League Baseball is doing. We see the NFL do it once in a while, the alternate, the throwback. They can wear the alternates now twice. The traditionalists will say, well, I'm glad the Chiefs don't do it, even though we saw them do the Dallas Texans a few years ago with the Texas. What's where they're from? It was the original helmet that they wore in Dallas, and people threw a fit about that. I was fine with it. It's part of who they are. It's what they were, and that's what they did. The black matted helmet, yeah, they're kind of cool, to be honest with you. But there's something about it. Even Nebraska changes their football uniforms. Even Notre Dame does. Penn State, I always liked it, man. You look at Penn State, you know exactly what they're wearing. You watch Alabama, you know exactly what they're wearing. The Chiefs are kind of that way too, and I like it. But baseball, I'm fine with it, man. I like what the Royals are doing. I'm down with the Powder Blues. I like it. It's fun because you know what they're doing on Friday. You know what they're doing on Saturday home games. You know what they're doing on the road. And you know it's going to be white uniforms Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I have absolutely zero problem with what the Royals are doing. Matter of fact, Rob, I think it's actually kind of cool.
I love what baseball's doing. It reminds me of, remember when college football first started, this wave of everyone had alternates, and then everyone has alternates now. Now it's basically a big deal on Saturday. Like, what's your school going to wear? I mean, like
Kansas really does this.
Yeah, there's a few schools that, like, you kind of know what they're going to wear. I think K-State, you mostly know what they're going to wear.
K-State doesn't do it.
But, like, Missouri, they have a bunch of different combinations. They have the block in. They have the different things. KU has it. Like, this is fun. I like that baseball's doing this. Yeah, you don't see the Yankees wearing goofy jerseys. That's fine. I have no problem with the Yankees being the Yankees. This is what we wear. But, like, everyone else should be having cool jerseys, should be having different combinations, should be having some fun. Frankly, me and you disagree. I wish the No Fun League, the NFL, would introduce more and more alternates for teams. Like, remember when the Seahawks were their throwbacks? They're fantastic. The Kelly Green Eagles. Sign me up for more games than that.
I don't like the fluorescent green they were in Seattle, though.
No, that was bad. But, like, the throwback Sean Alexander silver helmet Kingdom ones, like those are good. We need more of that. And we need less, this is what we do, this is who we are from the NFL. Lean into the fun. Baseball is. The Royals have, like, 5 different jersey combos, and they're all incredible. Like, this is what people like. Give them a little bit of fun every night when they're at the ballpark or at the stadium.
I'll tell you this much. College players really do like it, and they look into it, and they want the changes. They do like that. Oregon, I always thought they'd be an equipment manager for Oregon would be like the toughest job in sports because with the helmet combinations, the jerseys, the throwbacks, whatever, it is tough. Same with the Diamondbacks. Like, Diamondbacks are all over the place with their uniforms, but I'm good with the Royals. It's 3 hats now. It's City Connect. It's the traditional blue, and it's the Saturday home with the white. It's their batting practice hat, the white front with the crown on it. I'm good. Did you know? Do you remember when the Royals did Future Night back in the early 2000s?
They did the vest?
Yeah, the vest, the gold that they did in Seattle with the Mariners, right? Do you remember that?
I've seen video and photo of it. I don't remember it as a kid, but I know what you're talking about.
Do you know what's coming back? It's this July. It celebrates 20 years of those uniforms in Seattle. The Mariners are going to wear the same ones. The Royals will change it a little bit, but it's Back to the Future Night. Once again, it's the Royals and Mariners celebrating the 2005 edition of them doing it. It's in July. I didn't know that, but I looked it up. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Sign me up for fun stuff like that. I wish the Chiefs had a real alternate, not the red on red, which I think is a bad look. I like a legitimate alternate would be kind of cool, but the NFL, maybe it's ownership, I don't know, but the NFL doesn't really do that for all their teams.
What would you do with the Chiefs? White helmet or black?
I would have, do you know the Cardinals black jerseys? Uh-huh. I would have the Chiefs one look similar to that. I think
a black matted helmet would be awesome.
A black matted helmet. I would maybe have white pants in that world because it matches the arrowhead would be on the helmet. Like, there's endless combinations you could do, but the only thing they ever change is they either go from regular to red on red.
And they'd make a killing.
They would make so much money.
They would make a killing on changing the jersey up. Text line 816 asked me if I like the Padres City Connect. No, I absolutely don't. I don't.
The Blink-182 one?
I do not like that. The pink, the green.
Oh, it's fantastic.
No, the light green helmet. No. That's honestly, City Connect with the Royals is just about the best there is, to be honest with you. I mean, Pittsburgh has the PGH. Seattle does the black pants, the blue jersey. The City Connect for the Royals is absolutely perfect. And I know I'm sitting here in Kansas City bloviating about this, but I do like them. But baseball's changing, man. I'm 100% for it. I like what they do in the variety. Vern even changes up. No, just kidding. He never does. Still Vern. Coming up next, though, back to from baseball back to football, because someone on the Rich Eisen show not picking the Chargers, not picking the Chiefs. Who are they picking? Next.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
FanDuel is giving new customers an offer unlike any other for the first of major at Augusta. Because right now, new customers can get $250 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. This is the most exciting golf tournament of the year. Can Jordan Spieth get his second green jacket? Who is going to break through this year? Who's going to be the surprise player that sneaks out of nowhere and is on the leaderboard on Sunday? You can bet on all of these storylines, plus first-round leader, top 20, top 30, 3-ball, tournament matchups, and so much more. Plus, you'll get paid instantly when you bring home a major win this major season. Visit FanDuel.com/KFNZ to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app, and swing for the green at Augusta. FanDuel is an official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued. Non-withdrawable bonus bet. Retires 7 days on receipt. Returns apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas. Under agreement, Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem. Get up with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Raise the KSGamblingHelp.com.
Hey guys, it's Cody Tapp, and I want to tell you why I am so happy with the Awaken 180 weight loss at home program. Look, I'm nearing the end because I had a weight loss goal, and I've already met it. I'm not even 6 full weeks into the program. Look, you're looking for a long-term solution to weight loss. That's why I'm looking forward to the idea that once I get into maintenance mode, I have free support for life if I want it. Look, I know if you've been sitting around, you're like, God, I just want to lose 20 pounds. I want to lose 50 pounds. It doesn't really matter what the number is for you. It's about that weight loss goal. Mine was 30 pounds for that weight loss goal, and I'm happy to say that it has been so easy to do it over at Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Shoot me a DM. Ask me. Look at the photos I've posted. If you've got questions, I'm happy to answer them for you, but they can answer them for you too. Schedule your consultation today, 844-346-1800, or go online at awaken180weightloss.com and make the same decision I did. No extra medications, no extra gym, and no calorie counting. Go to awaken180weightloss.com.
Hi, Mia here at the winnings desk of the Missouri Lottery. So, I wanted to write a thank you note for every dollar Missouri Lottery players have given to Missouri and education. But that would be 8.4 billion notes. So to save a little time and a whole lot of paper, here's just one. Dear every single lottery player in Missouri, thank you for helping us give $8.4 billion to Missouri and education. Sorry, my trumpet's in the shop. The Missouri Lottery. Winners welcome and play responsibly.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Lowe's knows how to freshen up your yard, and it all starts with mulch. That's why we're introducing Mulch Week during Springfest with can't-miss savings. Right now, get 5 bags of Stay Green Premium Color 2 cubic foot mulch for only $10. Plus, members earn 5 times the points on select mulch purchases all week long. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 4/9. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Oh, by the way, Ivan's no longer on the project. His wife got a new job, so they're moving across the country.
Robin's top researcher is deviating to a new market. This isn't standard.
And now we're short-staffed. Who's going to finish all these projects?
She needs a cluster of new data analysts, and there's no margin for error.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their tools, but to protect their professional reputations. Whether it's inside or outside of work vehicles, a WeatherGuard badge means pros can trust that their hard-earned name is in good hands. Since 1968 and every day since, WeatherGuard has been protecting anything it takes to build a professional reputation. WeatherGuard, established in 1968, proven every day. WeatherGuard.com.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online, no medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/sports. Ethos.com/sports.
Sample Rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Heavy into downtown, northbound 35, also the southern lanes of the downtown loop. Looking at some sluggish traffic over the Bond Bridge, heading northbound. Eastbound 70 out of the 435 exchange through the Blue Ridge cutoff, also seeing brake lights. And southbound 71, got the slowdown starting at MLK. I'm Lori Pearson, 96.5, The Fan Traffic.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Chiefs fans, it's Hollywood Brown. Welcome to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back, Jay Binkley, Rob Brenton. Rob, I went to the Mariners, like their theme nights and stuff. And keep in mind, this isn't like a theme night for the fans because they have like an Oregon Ducks night and Washington State and all that. But a quick AI overview of it says the Seattle Mariners are hosting the Royals on July 3rd, 2025 at T-Mobile Park. And this game is a part of Back to the Future themed event, a nod to their Turn Ahead the Clock Night promotion from 1999. So the retro futuristic event, the original event had the DeLorean, a first pitch throwing robot, sleeveless nylon jerseys, and a vision of baseball in 2027. The uniform's definitely different. I'm glad they didn't go with what they picked back then, but looks like that's what they're going to have on July 3rd in Seattle because it's the Royals and Mariners that do this, which is interesting. But who knows if they actually do it or not, but it says that's what they're going to do. I went down a rabbit hole, and because I was thinking about those uniforms, and the Royals and Mariners once did it, and I absolutely hated it. Remember Johnny Damon in that thing? Oh, I hated those uniforms. But it was for a one-night thing, a Back to the Future night. I'm sure people will find a way to complain about it because that's typically what happens. Chris Brockman, who works on the Rich Eisen show, pick his winner of the AFC West. Keep in mind, yesterday we had the discussion, which was a follow-up to the office debate. Who's the best coach in the AFC West? Is it Andy Reid, Sean Payton, Jim Harbaugh, Pete Carroll? All of them have won a Super Bowl, but Harbaugh, he has been the one, but he's won a college national title. Actually, 3 college national titles, but won 2 from Pete Carroll, 1 from Jim Harbaugh. But here's who Chris Brockman from Rich Eisen show picks to win the AFC West.
The Broncos are going to win the AFC West.
Okay, pal. Listen. Come on.
I'm high on the Broncos too, but that's still the Kansas City friggin' Chiefs, dude. I'm not taking this Chiefs.
Look who came out. It's
Come
still
on.
the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl losing Kansas City Chiefs. We saw how that's gone for the most recent few Super Bowl losers.
The hangover is going to hit now. The hangover.
The success hangover.
Oh, the success hangover. What hangover is it? I can't figure it out. Is this the success hangover or they lost the Super Bowl hangover?
Well, it's both. When you combine both, that's
so two hangovers together.
That's a dangerous hangover.
Oh, okay. You know what? I got the prescription to get through that hangover. His name is Patrick Mahomes. Okay.
Which one though? The one that played in the Super Bowl.
All right, dude.
Rich, Denver's maybe had the best offseason so far.
I love what they've done.
Bo Nix is proving that he maybe should have been the second or third quarterback taken in the draft last year.
I get it.
He'd be number one overall this year. No doubt about it. They're going to get an offensive player in the draft. Is that Ashton Genty? Is it Tyler Warren? This is a team. Sean Payton still has his fastball. A lot of questions about that, when he took over. And I think Denver's on the rise.
See, that's another hot take out there. Chris Brockman from the Rich Eisen Show. Rich wasn't about to hear it. And again, this is the common sentiment. We hear this every year. It's usually the Chargers, whatever. Oh, Sean Payton has that magic elixir. He's going to fix the Broncos, who got their ass kicked in the playoffs by the Bills. But forget about that. Let's not take the team who's won 9 straight. Let's not take the team who's led by a quarterback who, yes, he lost in the Super Bowl in glorious fashion. But he got there. He's won 3. He's a 3-time Super Bowl MVP. He's been there. He's been nothing but the AFC title game or the Super Bowl every year of his career. They've played an extra season due to their postseason wins than any other team. Andy Reid's the most accomplished coach in this division. 9 straight division titles. Yes, let's pick somebody different. The interesting thing was the last couple of years, people have said, you know what? I'm still going to pick the Chiefs. I'm still going to pick the Chiefs because every time I pick against them, they go out and they win. They win the division. But yes, the Broncos are going to be the hot topic. I don't think the Broncos are the second best team in this division. And I'm going with the team that oftentimes is picked to win this division, but I'll give them credit in their head coach. I think the Chargers, not the best team, but I think they're the second best team in this division. I still think this is Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes' world. Everybody else just lives in it, but I think the Chargers are better than the Broncos.
Listen, I disagree with Chris Brockman. I don't think the Broncos win the division. I actually think the Broncos, I do agree with Rich Eisen. The Broncos had a really good offseason. I don't know if they're winning the division. But, man, I feel like every year on this show we play, clips in June and July. Oh, can you believe so-and-so said the such and such team will win the AFC West. Oh, watch out. Team blank is going to dethrone the Chiefs. Watch out. You bet. If you are a Chiefs fan who gets annoyed at those conversations, it is going to be louder this year than any other year in the Andy Reid era because they lost the Super Bowl. They have not had a sexy, eye-popping offseason. They have not made that, wow, they're going to come back type of move. They basically only brought their own guys back. And they're in a super strong division, and the way they lost in the Super Bowl, people are going to think that they cannot bounce back from that game. So it's a time-honored tradition, a tradition unlike any other in media in the NFL.
Like the Masters.
In media in the NFL, someone picking against the Chiefs. But it is going to be loud this year because the division is so strong, and the people think the Chiefs are due for aggression because they got just walloped in the final game of the season.
Well, Andy Reid's not still coaching, not to win games. He would ride off in the sunset, get a beach house, him and Tammy, and the rest would be history. But he thinks he can win, and I think they can win. It's impossible to doubt him. They just keep doing it. They just keep winning games. It's what they do. They were supposed to fall the year before last. You remember that Christmas Day game against the Raiders where they looked like crap? They were actually 9-6 after that game. This year, they were basically clinching the division on Christmas Day. The year before, they were 9-6. Lost to the Raiders. They had 2 different directions. They had the Bengals coming up, albeit without Joe Burrow, but they were coming up. They had a fork in the road. Dynasty or downfall. I mean, weaker teams, it would have been a downfall. We've been there. We've done that. But it wasn't. They go to the Super Bowl and they actually win it. Yes, the Super Bowl is bad memories. A lot of people have been groundhogs. They just went underground and come back out when the season's ready, and they do. And now they're starting to come out a little bit and flex a little bit that they're back. They got humbled a little bit with the Super Bowl. But, yes, they looked bad. But they were there. Like, Bo Nix wasn't there. The Broncos weren't there. So to say, oh, man, but Bo Nix is coming on strong and all this. What if he has a regression like C.J. Stroud? Never saw that coming. Sean Payton won, but it was at the hands of Drew Brees and an optimistic defense of Greg Williams that won. Not a great defense, but a great defense turning the ball over to save them. But they just keep winning. Mahomes has just lost one game in the division on the road. One. Yes, the Chiefs have lost, but he didn't play in it. The ones he's played in has lost once. That's unbelievable. But Denver, do it first. I'm from the show me state, man. Do it, then talk about it. Don't get rolled in the playoffs when the Kansas City Chiefs keep steamrolling themselves. And again, Patrick Mahomes, since he's been a starter, has gone to either the AFC title game, lost in overtime, hasn't been during regulation. He's either lost in overtime of the AFC title game, or he's gone to the Super Bowl and won it or lost it. We keep wanting something different. Josh Allen got paid twice now. Lamar Jackson is 2 MVPs. Josh got one. Lamar got paid. Didn't win it. Joe Burrow got paid. Didn't make the playoffs. Justin Herbert's been paid. He can't win a playoff game. So go to the playoffs, make some noise, and then do some talking. I'll take the team that's been there and done it and prove they can do it once they get to the postseason. Let's not forget they're still AFC champions. They are. They got beat by a better team. Philadelphia was better. I think people were sleeping on them last year. Everybody was Detroit. Oh, look at Sam Darnold and the Vikings. No, it was the Eagles. They proved why they're Super Bowl champions. That was a damn good football team. But nobody wants the Chiefs, so let's pick somebody else that's sexy. Let them fall. Let them falter, then go a different direction. Maybe I'll agree with you. But until they start losing, I'm not going to agree with you. Why pick a team that gets rolled in the postseason? Why do that? Are you enamored by what the Bills have done this offseason? They got this new stadium coming out this year, but the year after that, they just put the final steel beam in the new Highmark Stadium in Buffalo. Yes, they brought in Bosa, but he's hurt all the time. You know, did they really bring anybody to say, whoa, look at this offense? No, they've been relying on Josh Allen. Again, these teams keep paying their quarterbacks, but they find the same fate. They lose, and they lose to Patrick Mahomes in the postseason. So until they're actually not in that game and get beat in the first round or don't even make the playoffs, don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it because I'm not buying it. I'm not buying what you're selling until they prove they can't go do it. Because, again, from the show me state, show me, then do your talking. It's just that simple. The NFL draft is coming up April 24th. Of course, we're having the event out there. Chris and I will be out there broadcasting live. The whole staff will be there from 96.5. But Thor Nystrom from Fantasy Life, I had him on earlier. We had him on different draft specials. And he does a great job with his positional breakdowns of who he has teams taken. He rates top players. He's seen a lot of these guys in person. He watches college football, done all this, been there, done that. That's the kind of guy he is. He brings up where KC should pop on running back, where they should go out and get a running back, because this is a wonderful running back draft. And, yes, I was a little bit surprised that the Chiefs bring back Hunt. I really think that this year it's going to be some competition, because I don't think they go to this draft without drafting a running back, because it makes too much sense. Thor had running backs as top class. I've seen other things where they give it an A as far as the running back class this year, and I agree with it. You know, a couple years ago when Veach talked and said, I can draft somebody in the 7th round or undrafted and he can get 1,000 yards, he was right. I mean, the running back position, I'm with Rob on this, actually. It's a dime a dozen many times. But it's not, you don't do it in the first round. But there is no reason not in the 3rd or 4th round to draft a running back. No reason not to. It'll still be a committee, Rob, but I'm with you as far as dime a dozen. But I think there's actual playmakers this year. And I'm not buying the whole, look how Saquon Barkley turns around an organization. I'm not buying that. He didn't exactly beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. It was not him. Yeah, it helped them get the record, helped them get to the playoffs, helped them get to the Super Bowl, but it was not Saquon Barkley and jumping backwards that beats the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's where Thor thought the Chiefs would make a move on a running back in the draft class?
Could Caleb Johnson get down there? I sort of doubt it, but that would be fun because I think I mentioned this last time I was on. I complimented Larry Johnson, so we sort of evoked that for the Kansas City fans. But if not, you're going to see the parade of running backs going around that range, and not only that, you have the extra bullets to do it. You also have the bullets to maneuver, right? Like first round, depending on the way it goes, you potentially trade down if you wanted to use your first pick at top of the second round on a running back. That would be a decent spot. But, again, you could also do either of those 2/3. You could trade down in the third. If for instance, keep Devin Neal home, right? That's a guy probably going to go latter half of the third or early fourth round, or DJ Giddens. You go, a little bit over to the little apple there. Sorry, Kansas State fans. I'm a rock shocker, so I had to say that. But yeah, there's going to be all kinds of options for you there. So I would advocate for the same thing that you do. I think the Chiefs absolutely should take a running back, and I think they will.
I 100% agree with that. Dylan Sampson, the first mock out of Tennessee. We go by Sewell Tootin. The second mock, even though he drops the ball a little bit. But, again, he's a good returner. Has 2 return touchdowns. He can do it, 29-yard average in 2023. They're moving it back, the spot from the 30 to 35, which you will see more returns. Here's what Thor had to say about the power alley of this year's draft.
Yeah, overall, it's like, usually you have a top 8 pick, and you're feeling pretty good that you're gonna get a superstar. This class, it's not quite as top heavy. I'm a fan of Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter, but everyone outside of that, there's at least some sort of question on their evaluation. But the sweet spot of this draft, it's more like the 20 to 50 range. So somewhere in there. Like I would want more picks, late first and then in the second there. That's sort of the power alley of this one. That's speaking to what Jeremiah is talking about, the depth of it. And the depth makes sense because this is one of our, I believe, the last COVID year. Also, there might be a few stragglers the next one, but the kids are getting ejected from college that took the extra year, 2020. So now this class, it's a bulkier class. There's just literally more human beings in it, and you're going to get better depth because of that.
And we'll get more to Thor in just a minute here. But text line says, what has KC done this offseason? Well, they tag Trey Smith. They bring back one of the best guards in the NFL. Again, they're already paying 3 players on this team more than anybody else at said positions in the NFL, like at center, soon to be guard, like defensive tackle Chris Jones and Harrison Butker. That's 4 positions out of 22 starting positions they pay the most in the NFL for. They haven't done a ton. Yeah, Mitchell comes over. So what? Jalen Moore, that actually is projected to be their starter at left tackle, so they did make a move there. Yes, they downgraded left guard when Tooney gets traded. But everybody said the same thing the year before. It's like, what have the Chiefs done? Did they really done anything for you? Well, they signed the top 1. They brought back Chris Jones. That was the number 1 guy in free agency. And by the way, Trey Smith was number 2 this year. What have other teams done? What did the Bills do? This free agent class wasn't great. It's not going to make or break your team. And here's the one thing about always buying what free agents are. 7 of the last 10 years, the top spending team in free agency hadn't even made the playoffs. Do you know who spent the most in free agency last year? The Carolina Panthers. How good were they? How good were they? The Tennessee Titans spent all that money on defense last year. You know where they are? They're the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. The Chiefs are fine. Where you make hay is through the draft. The Chiefs done it before. Don't forget Brett Veach holding up Lombardi after beating Eagles in Super Bowl 57, saying this is what a rebuild looks like. So you got Jalen Watson the 7th, Isaiah Pacheco in the 7th, Trey Smith. He was the 6th-round pick for the Chiefs. They do it through the draft. They do it smartly because they pay their quarterback so much money. But tell me what Cincinnati's really done besides, A, piss off one of the best defensive players in the league, Trey Hendrickson, that still doesn't know where he's going to go. He's still under contract in the Natty, but he's not happy and almost retired the year before. Leads the NFL in sacks the last 2 years. He had more than anybody. Well, they paid T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Ooh. You know what? They had him last year. Jamar Chase won the Triple Crown. Joe Burrow was fantastic. Did they make the playoffs? No. Spending in free agency doesn't matter. It's coaching and it's quarterback that ultimately matters. So I don't care what they do in free agency. Don't care at all. I care about what they do in the draft. This is what Thor says is the best position group in this year's draft.
Running back would be one for sure.
That's one.
Interior defensive line would be two for sure. Edge would be up there. I'm trying to think through real quick. You know what? I'd probably put. I like this tight end class maybe more than some others. I might put tight end 3, but edge would maybe be 4 then.
How have you stood with tight ends? I've been really stomping for tight ends the last couple of years. Obviously, I think Kelsey coming back does help him because that's not a position that you earmark and say, we've got to get tight end at 31. You're not going to get Tyler Warren. You're not going to get Colston Loveland. Are you going to maybe in the mid-rounds get a Mitchell Evans out of Notre Dame? Maybe. Could you get a Gunnar Helm in the 4th round on? Possibly. He did lead Texas in receptions this past year. But there's not that game changer unless you're getting Tyler Warren, in my opinion. Just like you're not getting a game changer unless you got Brock Bowers the year before. The chances of you getting a Kelsey or a Gronk are slim and none.
I mean, I've wanted tight end for a while, but I feel like they have so many bodies in that room. Now, not any of them are any, like, outside of Kelsey, like, dynamic, but, like, they drafted Jarrett Wiley. They've drafted and re-signed Noah Gray. They have Travis Kelsey. They brought in, like, 7 different people this offseason. Peyton Hendershot's still in the room. Robert Tunyon's in the room. There's a couple other guys I'm forgetting who just are on the roster at tight end. Like, I would like to see them get a tight end. Like, I don't think he would fall, but Tyler Warren would be awesome. But I don't think the Chiefs are popping on tight end this draft. I think they feel like they're good with what they got in that room.
Yeah, I mean, listen, not everybody's getting a Saquon Barkley and stuff like that. You know, as far as that's concerned, I mean, it can change the complexion of a team. It doesn't happen all the time. There's far more failures than success stories, to be honest with you, with teams changing where they're going, what they're doing. King Henry, did that make a difference? Did the Ravens win the Super Bowl? King Henry had a great year. He looked rejuvenated. He looked like 24-year-old Derrick Henry. Was that the end-all be-all? Chiefs held him less than 100 yards, by the way, when they played the Ravens this year. Was Saquon Barkley? Yes, that makes a difference. When you get a new guy like that, it can make a difference. But that only happened to most teams. I'm shocked he went in the same division. I'm shocked he was sent from the Giants over there. Don't forget, he signed that 3-year deal for $37 million, 26 guaranteed. Looks like a steal. The Giants, by the way, had placed a non-exclusive franchise tag on Saquon the year before. Things like that don't always work out. Again, go back and look at the numbers. Saquon had a great year. Had a great highlight reel of jumping backwards. Had over 2,000 yards. Great season. That wasn't the reason they won the Super Bowl. It was that it was getting to the quarterback without blitzing. That's what ultimately got him there, and Jalen Hurts a quarterback. That's essentially what got him to the promised land. So spending money in free agency doesn't always work out great. Again, I look at what some of these teams are doing. Yeah, Jamar Chase, great. Triple crown last year. He's awesome. Pairing him with Burrow, awesome. They can't play defense worth a crap, man. Nobody wants to play there. Hendrickson doesn't even want to stay there. He says he likes the natty and all that, but he can't find a trade partner. They can't find a trade partner. T. Higgins should not have gotten paid like Jamar Chase. You have to decide what you want to do. You had those guys last year and you didn't do crap. So I digress. Coming up next, who's the home run higher this year in the NFL?
Hey, it's MJ Melendez from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to The Drive with CDOT on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
When dealing with erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific needs. And every case is different, and finding the right solution can make the difference between okay and amazing. That's why Heartland Men's Health is Kansas City's leader in treating men's sexual health issues. ED can cause anxiety, stress, and a strain in your relationship, yet many men suffer silently without seeking treatment. Intimacy is one of life's greatest experiences, but ED can completely destroy it. Heartland Men's Health offers treatment when herbs and pills don't work. With success rates of over 90%, some treatments can help you last an hour or more, so why settle for good enough? Your first visit is just $99, which includes a medical consult, a T and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work, then your visit is on the house. Heartland Men's Health has 3 locations to serve you in the metro: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City. Pick up the phone today and change your life. Call this number, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com today.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights, at home or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Buckle up and hang on. This is going to be a good one.
The fans of Kansas Speedway know how to have a good time. One that celebrates fantastic finishes.
Crash together. So close.
And family-friendly facilities. Trading paint.
We got beauty.
And tailgating tradition. Burnouts. Beer. And barbecue. Oh, it'll for sure be a good time. And you are all invited. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 9th through the 11th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
I love Smokehouse Barbecue for their wings, ribs, burnt ends, and of course their hickory pit beans. But Smokehouse is also serving up fish entrees that can't be beat. Their smoked salmon is the perfect meal. I love their shrimp skewers and of course their cod sandwich. And don't forget about their catfish as well. So check out Smokehouse Barbecue at one of their 3 locations in Independence, Gladstone, and Zona Rosa, or order carryout at smokehousebbq.com. For over 35 years, locally owned and family operated, it's Smokehouse Barbecue.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their tools, but to protect their professional reputations. Whether it's inside or outside of work vehicles, a WeatherGuard badge means pros can trust that their hard-earned name is in good hands. Since 1968 and every day since, WeatherGuard has been protecting anything it takes to build a professional reputation. WeatherGuard, established in 1968, proven every day. WeatherGuard.com.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online, no medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/sports. Ethos.com/sports.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
This report is brought to you by Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka in Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka in Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Each can of Surfside is only 100 calories, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Grab it at the Cave or ask for it at your favorite bars and liquor stores.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Those northbound 435 slowdowns start right past Winter Road, go all the way up to 210 Highway. Don't completely alleviate until you get to 35. Looking at heavy traffic into downtown, northbound 71 and northbound 35, and still seeing pretty significant slowdowns eastbound 70 out of the 435 exchange and pretty much extending back to 27th Street there. I'm Lori Pearson, 96.5, The Fan Traffic.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
I'm pretty sure there's just people that just like to complain. And it doesn't matter what they're watching, who they're watching, the success they've had. They like to complain. Just for example, from the text line, Brett Veach hasn't had a good draft since 2022. Yeah, he hit it out of the park. 100% he did. Even going into 2023, 21 of the previous 22 draft picks were still on the roster. Find me another GM that's done that. Oh, wait, you can't. You can't tell me another GM. And it's because of the defense, not Mahomes. Who the hell was Mahomes throwing to? Justin Watson? A rookie named Xavier Worthy? Who took a while to develop? Was he throwing the Hollywood Brown? No, he got hurt in the first preseason game against Jacksonville. Was he throwing the Rashee Rice? Oh, no. He was hurt in that Chargers game early on. He was essentially playing without his 1 and his 2 and a, quote, watered-down Kelsey, even though he had 97 catches last year, but had lost the step. And he was running for his life in the postseason. Like, what do you want? Do you want a GM that's won 3 Super Bowls and gone to 2 others? Or do you want somebody else? Like, I hear you complaining, but when you complain, send me 5 names that you want instead. Send me 5 names. You complain about Mahomes, send me 5 other names of quarterbacks that you want. Name me a quarterback that started since 2018 and only made the AFC title game in the Super Bowl. Oh, wait, I'm done, because you can't name anybody because it doesn't exist. It exists maybe in your fantasy land, living in your mom's basement, making up crap. There's no other quarterback can say that. Find me another quarterback who's won more postseason games than Mahomes. Okay, I'll give you the answer. You don't even have to look it up. His name's Tom Brady. That's it. That's the list. He passed the great Joe Montana, who had 16 postseason wins. Mahomes has 17. Dude's not even 30 years old. Who do you want? What other quarterbacks do you want? You want Sam Darnold? Did you want him? Do you want Aaron Rodgers to come in here, ride the white horse, and take advantage, win for this team? What do you want? Like, you can complain, because a lot of people complain, but you never have solutions. You like to complain, but you don't have solutions. Give me 5 names. Give me 5 other quarterbacks you want. Give me 5 other GMs you want. Give me 5 other head coaches you want. The thing is, you can't name them. You can't. You can't argue with number 2 all-time in postseason wins. You can't argue with the fact he's gone to the Super Bowl and AFC title game every damn year as a starter. Why? Because he's the only one that's done it. Not even Tom Brady can say that. So anyway, that's all I have to say about that. One thing Rob and I were talking about before the show was home run hires in the NFL. Does it really matter anymore? We see so many guys go from, the playing days to head coach, and have they had enough time to marinate? I don't care. I don't care how many stops you've made. I don't care if you've done college football route and you've done 2 or 3 jobs and you've risen from tight end coach to offensive coordinator to head coach. Just win, man. I think one team in particular made the best hire, and it's Mike Vrabel. No, he doesn't have Super Bowl rings, but he's a coach, man. And he demands the best out of his players. And I think he will win. And I think he'll turn that team around. I think the guy's a no-nonsense guy. I look at home run hires in the NFL in this offseason, and to me, it was Vrabel. Is he going to win this year? No. He's not going to win the AFC East this year. He's not going to, but soon he will. Because guys like that don't lose. I mean, he's got that team in his blood. He'll win. Mike Vrabel, to me, was the best hire this year in the NFL. What says you, Rob?
I mean, does Ben Johnson not count?
He does count.
Because Ben Johnson was the best hire.
But what's he proven?
I mean, he built the best offense in the NFL last year.
As a head coach, what's he done?
I mean, nothing. But Mike Vrabel got fired and after failing to make the playoffs back-to-back seasons with the Titans. Like, all the coaches have holes. We can play that game with anyone. I think Ben Johnson was the hire because if they get the quarterback right, you just talked about quarterback and coach. If Ben Johnson get that quarterback going and he made Jared Goff an MVP candidate, that's the slam dunk hire. That's the no-doubter. That was the guy that everyone wanted. Didn't every team in the league basically interview Ben Johnson? Ben Johnson was picky. I think
I've seen hot names in the NFL all the time. There's always the hot name, but they don't win crap. I'm not saying he won't. I'm just saying I can't crown him yet for no reason.
I feel like crowning Mike Vrabel, who's also accomplished in the pantheon of the NFL basically nothing. He won his division once and went to one AFC title game where he lost by multiple scores. Like that's I guess something, but like in the pantheon of things that have been accomplished, he's not exactly like, tearing the roof off. That a saying? Doesn't sound like a saying. Tearing the cover off the ball.
I'm just saying I've seen so many offensive coordinators be the hot name, and then all of a sudden they slip back. Remember Venables at Oklahoma? He was the hot name, man. And he kept turning down jobs. He goes to Clemson. Defensive coordinator goes to Oklahoma. What's he done? Everybody wanted him. People wanted Eric Bieniemy, man. That was the name. You want him. What's he done since he left here? I mean, and here's the thing. And I like Ben and what he can do. But do you think Caleb Williams is really the truth?
Yes, I'm a big Caleb Williams fan.
I think Jaden Williams or
Jaden Daniels is better, but
Jaden Daniels is a better quarterback. They made the best draft pick.
But Caleb Williams can still be really good. Like, just because the number 2 pick was better does not mean the first pick isn't good.
I'll go with Vrabel. And I'm not saying just playing experience. He's played in the Super Bowl and he got touchdowns. Even though he was a defensive player when they put him in offense. I'm not going by that. I just think the guy gets the best out of his players. He's more of a proven commodity. But again, you don't have to be. Like, I'm okay with that. But to anoint somebody is the ultimate without winning anything. He didn't win anything, man. Detroit peed down their legs, man. They didn't win a damn thing. But yet we anoint him as the best and everybody wants him. I'm not saying you're wrong, but saying prove it first. Prove it first with your number 1 overall draft pick, Caleb Williams. See what happens. He has no excuses now, man. They loaded up that offensive line through free agency. They got Joe Thuney in there for offensive line. The excuses are gone. Would you not agree for Chicago?
I think I saw their linebacker, Tremaine Edmonds, said it perfectly. They're in win-now mode. It is not rebuild there. It's time to start winning if you're the Bears.
No, I'm with you on that. I think the time has come for them to win. But you got to have the right guy. You got to have the right guy, and I think Vrabel is that right guy. I don't know that for sure. We'll see. I mean, he's definitely got a better track record than obviously Ben. He's got, 2 playoff wins, 3 playoff losses. He went 5 times. He's got 5 different games, in the playoffs. He's won 2 of them, lost 3 of them. So it's not exactly a glowing track record, but the Titans team that he had was pretty good. They didn't win it all. They ran into the Chiefs. That's the problem. That'll get you fired. Anyway, coming up next, the hits.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Seeing heavy traffic southbound 49 highway through Grandview. It starts at about Truman Drive. It does ease up by about 163rd Street. Eastbound 435, looking at slowdowns from Metcalf through the state line. I'm Lori Pearson, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Get 5 quarts of O'Reilly full synthetic motor oil and a MicroGuard oil filter for $29.99. In-store only, limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Saturday, I got wings, but today I'm celebrating it in style and getting barbecue. And there's only one place to go pick that up, and that's with my friends over at Gates Barbecue. With 5 locations around town, you were never too far away from that classic taste. And listen to me, Gates is switching up the menu a little bit. They now have the Burnt E Mac. It is some delicious macaroni and cheese, and it's topped with some burnt ends. Get it? Burnt E Mac. They also have the chicken link, which is exceptional as well. Don't also miss out on some of their cool specialty items. Like you can stop by the one over on Main Street and get the chicken wings that's also available on the one over on State Line. Maybe you're planning on cooking today. Well, the next time you go to the grocery store, make sure you pick up some of that Classic Gate sauce. Also, make sure you pick up some of that Classic Gate seasoning. Use that Gate seasoning on anything. Use that on your vegetables. You can even use it on your popcorns and your salad. No matter what your barbecue needs are for tonight, trust me, Gates Barbecue has you ready.
Testing.
We're live from Chick-fil-A.
This is Grant.
And this is Laura.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that sweet bun.
And that chicken filet was perfectly crispy and soft at the same time.
And that Smokehouse Barbecue sauce, it's a lot of fun. And the brown sugar bacon definitely had a little bit more pizzazz. Also, the Mac, one of the all-time greats. Man, I'm getting hungry.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and a Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
If you've been thinking about losing weight and you're not sure how to get it done, let me tell you why Awaken 180's weight loss at-home program is the correct choice for you. First off, no medications, no gym, no calorie counting. Sticking to the system is what worked for me. I had a weight loss goal in mind of 30 pounds. I am only a couple of pounds away officially from that weight loss goal. I've lost 24 pounds thanks to Awaken 180's at-home program. Give them a call. 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com, because I know you got questions. If you got questions for me, you can ask that as well. This will be the last time you have to lose weight. That's the goal, right? With their free support for life after you reach your weight loss goal, that is something that you can do at Awaken 180. I know it's a difficult decision figuring out what the best system is for you. Find out why it works so well for me. Don't waste any more time and make the decision I made at Awaken 180. Give them a call, 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
What's up, baseball fans? Go yard with BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Enjoy top odds on your favorite home run bets, fast and convenient ways to play same-game parlays, special boosts and tokens, and so much more. From the first pitch to the game-winning fireworks, there are more ways than ever to supercharge your excitement. Download the BetMGM app and get your piece of MLB action. BetMGM is an official partner of Major League Baseball. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. First bet offers for new customers only. All other promotions for existing customers. Subject to eligibility requirements. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Major League Baseball trademarks. Used with permission.
Red Hot Car Giveaway. Only at Harris, Kansas City. Saturday, April 26th, one lucky winner will win a brand new Red Hot Lexus ES350. Harris is giving away $2,500 in free play every 15 minutes from 7 p.m. till 10:45 p.m. At 11, two winners will receive $5,000 in free play, and one person will win $10,000 cash. And one person drives home a brand new Lexus ES350. Visit our website for full details. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Looking for the perfect engagement ring? At Shane Company, we know this is an exciting time. It can also be overwhelming. Customers say this a lot. Where do I start? How do I choose? At Shane Company, this is where the magic happens. Since 1929, we've been experts at helping customers find the perfect engagement ring. We invite you into the design process, help you pick out the perfect diamond or colorful gemstone, and choose a style that speaks to you. Come see us in store and at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Kansas City, this is Michael Massey. Listen to the play-by-play all season long with Denny, Jake, Ryan, and Stu right here on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
Welcome back, 5 o'clock hour. Josh Bernier comes your way at 5:30 with Vern's On Deck show. Rob Britton producing the operation. Text line says, what about Pete Carroll being a great hire? Well, wait and see if he reinvents himself again. He did at USC. He's 73. We'll see what he does. We'll see what he does, but I'll take variable over Pete Carroll. By the way, I did call Pete Carroll the second best coach in the AFC West yesterday, and I think Rob is pretty high on that as well because this division is loaded. But for now, by the way, people want me to address a certain Mahomes half-brother, and I will do that tomorrow night. We have a dress special following the drive 6 to 9. But Graham Walker, he of Ivy League, then transferred to Rice. The half-brother of Patrick Mahomes will be in the draft this year. We'll discuss him tomorrow night. I digress. Let's play the hits.
I assume he'll go top 10?
No.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
Bing's Always Hits are brought to you by Baker University, where graduates earn higher salaries and land jobs faster than any other university in Kansas. Apply today at bakeru.edu. Well, the top story of the day in Kansas City, Bink, is the Kansas City Royals. They won again last night, being the Minnesota Twins behind a magnificent pitching performance by Cole Ragans. He had 10-plus strikeouts in his 6 innings of work. I was lucky enough to be in the ballpark to watch him work. Despite little offense, the Royals got the win, but Bink, between Ragans, Lugo, Waka, Bubic, and co., their pitching staff is elite, and it's headed up by a true ace in Cole Ragans.
Yeah, and Lorenz and those major pipes he's got. You know what I'm saying? The back into your bullpen, if that's good, it means your first part of your bullpen, or your starters. Great. Again, they had 2 of the top 4 AL Cy Young voting recipients last year. Lugo on the mound tonight. How about that? Yo, Ragans. The only 5 lefties in Royals history have at least 11 strikeouts in 7 or more games. He is one of those. But how about the job of Brian Sweeney, the impact he's had on this pitching staff? I like the Royals. Well, people didn't like the fact I kind of put the Twins to bed last night and said there's a 2-horse race in this division. It's the Royals and the Tigers. I'll still go by that. I know the Tigers had won, 6 in a row, and they lost today barely to the Yankees, even though they won 2 of 3 over the Yankees. I still think this is the Royals and Tigers world that we're living in. But I cannot wait to see what Lugo follows up with tonight. Because you want your pitchers to follow up what the guy did the night before.
Vern has said this, and a reminder, Vern takes in about 25 minutes. Vern said this about last year's team, and I actually think it rings somehow more true about this team than last year's team. They have a shot every single night because they almost always have the pitching advantage. Like, how many times in Royals history have you thought, oh boy, Pablo Lopez on the mound?
Yeah.
Chalk up an L. Like, they had the better pitcher last night. Joe Ryan's a good pitcher tonight for the Twins. They have Seth Lugo. You think you have the better pitcher. We saw it on Monday. Michael Lorenz, Vern says it a lot on the On Deck show. You know, they have a chance every night because they have better starting pitching every night. That is ringing really true earlier in the season for the Royals.
Vern's 100% correct. And I remember something Bobby Witt Jr. said, the MLB Network, kind of before the season started. And I think there is truth behind it because they believe in themselves because they did it. It's one thing to go out there and play and then not be able to have something to show for it. It doesn't always matter. We saw what happened in the postseason in 2014. They went all the way to the World Series before losing the game. And they didn't have many people with postseason experience, but James Shields on that team. So it doesn't matter, but I do think with this core, it was important for them to see the fruits of their labor, to go out there and play and not just have the training wheels on, that the Royals were actually a formidable team and people have expectations on the Kansas City Royals. So I think it did benefit this group by making the postseason a year ago.
Number 2.
Well, Bink, it is still NFL offseason, NFL free agency time, and Kay Adams had a former foe of the Kansas City Chiefs, Justin Simmons, on her podcast, the Up and Adams podcast. He said something very interesting about your Kansas City Chiefs.
This is where my heart is torn. Like, speaking truthfully here, my heart is torn because I've always been so publicly against Kansas City, and it's because they're a really good team. It's not like a true hate. I want to beat them. Like, it's just ingrained to me to beat them. And so I think, was it Josh Jacobs a while ago that there was links to him when he was leaving Vegas to go to Kansas City.
Yeah.
He was like, no, I want to beat them. And then, he's with Green Bay now. I feel the exact same way. And so am I shutting that door? Am I closing it? No. But I want to be the team that beats them.
Bink, do you have respect for the former Broncos saying, no thanks, I'll never be a Chief because I want to beat them, I don't want to join them?
I mean, I like the guy. I like the player. Great safety. Has 32 picks in his career. Has been playing since 2016. If you're going to stand on business, stand all the way on it. You say, no way in hell I'm going to go play for the Chiefs. You don't say at the end, oh, but I'll keep the door open. Because you want to play. You're a free agent. If the Chiefs come calling and it's your only option, hello, Kansas City. Hello, barbecue. Hello, Patrick Mahomes. Hello, Chiefs Kingdom. So if you're going to stand on business, stand on it. Don't talk out of both sides of your mouth, which clearly what Justin Simmons did.
Number 3.
Speaking of those Denver Broncos, Chris Brockman, who is the, second man, the other guy on the Rich Eisen show. I don't know how you want to phrase his, role on the show. Doesn't matter. He was on the Rich Eisen show, and he said, hey, it's not going to be the Kansas City or the Chiefs this year in the AFC West. He has a surprise contender that will knock off the Chiefs in the AFC West.
The Broncos are going to win the AFC West.
Okay, pal. Listen. Come on. I'm high on the Broncos, too, but that's still the Kansas City friggin' Chiefs, dude. I'm not taking this Chiefs.
Look who came out. It's still the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl losing Kansas City Chiefs. We saw how that's gone for the most recent few Super Bowl losers.
Yeah. The hangover is going to hit now. The hangover.
The success hangover.
Oh, the success hangover. What hangover is it? I can't figure it out. Is this the success hangover or they lost the Super Bowl hangover?
Well, it's both. When you combine both, that's
so two hangovers together.
That's a dangerous hangover.
Oh, okay. You know what? I got the prescription to get through that hangover. His name is Patrick Mahomes. Okay.
Which one though? The one that played in the Super Bowl.
All right, dude.
Rich, Denver's maybe had the best offseason so far.
I love what they've done.
Bo Nix is proving that he maybe should have been the second or third quarterback taken in the draft last year.
I get it.
He'd be number 1 overall this year. No doubt about it. They're going to get an offensive player in the draft. Is that Ashton Genty? Is it Tyler Warren? This is a team. Sean Payton still has his fastball. A lot of questions about that, when he took over. And I think Denver's on the rise.
Bink, is it just another national hot take artist, or is there some validity to the idea that Denver Broncos could, in fact, knock off the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC West this upcoming season?
It's a hot take. I do think Chargers are better than the Broncos. I think Chiefs are better than them all, to be honest with you. But Chris Brockman, or whatever the hell his name is, yeah, the Chiefs lost the Super Bowl. But you know what, Chris Brockman? They went to the Super Bowl in the AFC. You know what the Broncos did? If you want to sit there and say, all right, this is the meter. Patrick Mahomes got rolled in the Super Bowl. That's correct. But Bo Nix and the Broncos lost 31-7 to the Buffalo Bills in the first round of the playoffs back on January 12th. 31-7, they lost in the playoffs. So don't give me this crap. Oh, but look how the Chiefs played the Super Bowl. Well, they played in the Super Bowl. I didn't see the Broncos there. I saw them lose 31-7, getting smacked by the Buffalo Bills, which I saw the Chiefs beat again, and the MVP of the league, not on our team, Josh Allen.
Number 4.
Bink, our fourth and final hit. There was news earlier today, actually from Mike Florio, but not about the Chiefs, that viewership for the Spring Football League, what is it, the UFL, the USFL, the XFL, whatever the hell.
It's both, Rob. It's XFL and USFL, like peanut butter and jelly, man.
Exactly. Whatever it is down massive numbers for television viewership compared to where it was last season. Bink, it does not appear that America has an appetite for spring professional football. Is it time to, whatever the league is called, give up the dream on this spring league?
I hate to say it, but it is time to put it to bed. It has become a big bag of suck, the UFL. Even though, 21 players made NFL rosters a season ago, just not household names. I go back to Donald Parham, who played tight end for the Chargers. He's with the Steelers now. But he actually played in the XFL back when, Arlington, the Renegades have moved to the UFL, and because they split it up, half UFL teams and half, or USFL teams and half XFL teams. It's the United Football League. It sucks. It's an after-ran. It's like St. Louis that hates their baseball team now. It gives them a reason to go out and watch the Battlehawks. As much as I like football, it is a bad product. It just is. The NFL offseason is more important than any type of minor league system for football. It just is. It's just the best of the best to play the NFL. You'd rather pay attention to free agency. You'd rather pay attention to the NFL draft. To be honest with you, I think OTAs are more competitive than the UFL, to be honest with you. As much as I like football, viewership is down 30% this year. As much as I hate to say it, but no. I love the college football expanded playoffs. That is the true minor leagues of the National Football League. They don't have to pay the players. They don't have to pay insurance. They don't have to pay travel. They don't have to pay anything. That is what the minor league system is for the NFL. So, yes, I would say it kind of whets the appetite. Keep in mind, I'm an Arena Football League fan. I mean, I like any kind of football, to be honest with you. But it is buyer beware. When you're watching it, just understand what you're watching. It is so far away from NFL football. It's not fun to watch, Rob. I will concede that.
I mean, the fact that you're conceding that means
I'm conceding it, man.
That probably means it's time for us to acknowledge it. Just go away.
Put the baby out with the bathwater, man.
We don't need spring football. We're good.
We are, but I did like the World League. I like that, and the CFL if they put different players in that, but they got to get rid of the 20-yard end zones. They got to get rid of going vertical in motion. They got to get rid of 12 guys. I mean, there's a lot of things they have to get rid of to make it actual football like we play here in the United States. But now the purpose of minor league football is essentially what college football is now. In the NFL offseason, it's just dominated other leagues. We can't compete with it. I know I consider the draft a top 3 sporting event, even though it's not really an event. There's no sport being played, but it's how you build your team. And I think there's a hell of a lot more interest in the NFL draft, and there always will be, than the United Football League. It's just the way it is. And I know you're a big St. Louis Battlehawks fan, but, is what it is.
I mean, I liked the idea. It was doomed to fail because we've seen this fail so often in America. We always keep trying this, and it's a fruitless endeavor.
Like when the XFL first came out with Vince McMahon, I was like, all right, I'm trying it, because a lot of those innovative ideas actually translated and worked over to the NFL. But the NFL is not going to be a part of it. Like if the NFL took something under their wings, a developmental league to go. But you're not going to see it because now the 17 games, they're quickly going to be the 18 games in the NFL. They're not going to do it. That is playing entirely too much football because it does take a toll on the body, and they're not going to do it. They're just not going to do it. As long as the SEC is still the SEC, the Big 12 is still the Big 12, ACC, you name it, that essentially is what minor league football has become.
That concludes the hits brought to you by Baker University, where graduates earn higher salaries and land jobs faster than any other university in Kansas. Apply today at bakeru.edu.
Well, we had Thor Nystrom on to talk about the NFL draft. He's joined us on the draft special as well. He was on at 2:15, and I thought he had some really good stuff. One of the things, it was kind of Chiefs-centric, what we talked about, obviously, but one of the rumors, will the Browns go Abdul Carter over Travis Hunter? And I've never liked that idea. I sit here and go, well, who's got a better chance in the end to be in Canton? I think it's Travis Hunter. The guy's a generational talent. He is the best player in the draft. Whether you like him or not, I'll tell you this much about him. He played 382 more snaps than anybody in college football last year. This dude lives, eats, and sleeps football. Was voted the best player in the nation, Chuck Bednarik Award, on defense. He also was the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. Oh, by the way, he won the Biletnikoff Award as the best wide receiver in the country. Saw him force fumbles that gave Colorado wins. I saw him go out there and make interceptions, then turn around and make touchdown catches on the other end. The guy just pops. He didn't go out and party. He didn't do anything. Goes home, plays video games, podcast, whatever. He is what you want on your football team. And by the way, he's the betting favorite now to go to the Browns at number 2, as the wishy-washy national media now has him as the second player, not the third. To be honest with you, he's better than Campbell. He's better than anybody in this year's draft. And people will sneeze at that. They'll poo it. Jalen Carter, you remember him from the Super Bowl and the Eagles, how good he was. He was selected 9th with the Eagles. Well, there's 8 other NFL teams going, what the hell did we do? Why did we pass on this guy? Remember saying at the time, he was considered the number 1 player in the draft, but character concerns came up that turned out to be nothing you need to worry about, and he's become the next Chris Jones, Aaron Donald type player. But this is Thor on number 2 for the Browns.
But I've been hearing since the Combine, keep an eye on the Browns if Shadir Sanders falls, to keep him with Travis Hunter at the next level. The idea of pop Hunter at 2, and then again, if the fall comes, the Browns have all kinds of draft ammo in the other rounds. They have the first pick in the second round. They have multiple third-round picks, and then they have a cornucopia of picks on day 3. Like, they have too many picks to even roster all those guys next year. They will be moving. And a trade that would work out, if Sanders falls to 15, if you traded your second, your 2/3, and your 4th next year, your 2026, that jives on the trade chart, even with a little bit of a tax for moving up and another little tax for the move up for a quarterback, which usually we see. But keep an eye on that. Just keep this in the back of your mind. In 2 weeks from tomorrow, if you start to see Shadir starting to fall out of the top 10, watch out for the Cleveland Browns.
And I'm curious what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers tonight. Shadur taking the top 30 visit, even though take that with a grain of salt. Chiefs don't often draft guys from that. They have in the past. Kingsley came in for a top 30 visit last year. They drafted him. Carson Steele came in for a top 30 visit, undrafted free agent. The year before, Rasheed Rice came in for a visit, top 30, signed him, drafted him, and B.J. Thompson was brought in a top 30 visit. But you take those with a grain of salt. I will say this, though. I mean, I like the direction you're going. Are you going to hit everything in the draft? No. I do like them taking a shot at 2 wide receivers. Before, the last couple of years, it's been 1. It's been 1 and done for the Kansas City Chiefs. Remember Rasheed Rice? When the draft was in Kansas City, it was Friday night. They took 2 offensive players in its entirety in the NFL draft that year. It was Rasheed Rice and Wanya Morris. They had to hit on it because Sky Moore wasn't panning out. But if you're going to throw a dart at just one receiver, it's magnified. But Rasheed Rice turned out pretty good, didn't it? For those that don't like Brett Veach's drafts, he was number 2 out of any rookie wide receiver in yards and catches his rookie year. Better than Zay Flowers and everybody else. The only one that was better was Puka Nacua, as I've mentioned. He was the 3rd, 5th-round selection of the Rams. Not exactly like they identified him. He wouldn't have been the 3rd, 5th-round pick if they knew how damn good he was going to be. Jaden Hicks last year fits right in. This dude's going to be a player. The Chiefs got the best player in the draft at the safety position, according to Dane Brugler, hitting 39 last year. Overall, and the best safety, they got Jaden Hicks for a steal last year, and clearly that made the decision easier to get rid of Reed and that type of contract that you would have by paying a guy like Jaden Hicks. So throw the dart at wide receiver, I say. Go out, get 2 of them. They've hit home runs when it's come to defensive backs. They've done a great job of it. Jalen Watson, 7th-round pick. You're not talking first-round picks. You don't have to be defensive backs. Because Dave Merritt gives his 2 cents worth. Steve Spagnuolo, former defensive backs coach, gives his 2 cents worth. And the Chiefs find a way in a system for them to go to plan. But the draft is where it's at. And I know there's been a ton of talk on quarterbacks. And do you cap the amount of money they make? I say don't do it. Because the Chiefs have proven they paid their quarterback and they're still winning, man. No, they don't have a Super Bowl championship this year, but they win it. Brett Veach has 3 Lombardis sitting on his desk. I mean, what more do you want? You build it through the draft. And that's what he's done a good job of doing because you have to supplant talent, and he's been able to do it. And when you pay Patrick Mahomes as much as you do, he's, as far as quarterbacks taking salary cap money from their team, he's number 1 in the modern era that's won a Super Bowl and won. So they do it right because of the draft. The Chiefs have 8 picks this year. I'm really looking forward to 63 and 66 because they're so close together in the draft. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see what he does this year because you want your GM to do several things. He's got to make shrewd trades, and he's proven to do that. How did Harrison Butker, by the way, work out when they grabbed him off the practice squad of the Panthers? That worked out. How about sending Parker Enger for Severius Ward? That ended up working out. Of course, he went on elsewhere, but he was good here. And contracts. You have to get guys under reasonable contracts. And again, they're paying 3 players more than anybody at their positions. Creed Humphrey, Chris Jones, soon to be Trey Smith, and Harrison Butker. And, of course, Mahomes will get paid again because they will pay him because they're such a stretch for quarterbacks in the National Football League. That's why Sam Darnold keeps getting all that money. But you build your team through the draft, and I hope he does it this year. I don't think the fact that Juju came back and Kareem Hunt came back, you would like to see these guys pushed in St. Joe. And I hope and I think it'll happen, especially at wide receiver. Your running back room, we'll see how that works out for the Chiefs. But getting a guy you can have all 3 downs, catch the ball in the backfield, and number 1 block for Patrick Mahomes, we'll see what happens. Rob, good stuff, man. Not going to the K tonight?
Not tonight.
Not tonight. Josh Vernier.
No back-to-back night for me.
No day game after night game after night game? Day game tomorrow. Day game tomorrow. You guys are coming on after that, then we're after you with the NFL Draft Special. Save your questions. We'll get to them tomorrow night. Matt McMullen, the Kansas City Chiefs, comes in the studio, and we'll talk about possible draft selection. Have a good night. Josh Vernier next.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the